Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today, and welcome to episode 264 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Today, we've got some royalty in the building, and it's only fitting when we're sitting down to talk about the annual Xbox Developer Direct. We just went through it. Everything from Forza Horizon 6, Beast of Reincarnation to Kiln, and Fable will be talked about today. The structure this week is very loose. Like, we just have topics scattered throughout. We're not really going in any particular order. I just wanted to have a nice, fun, chill show talking about all the cool shit we saw this week. Cog, as always, joining us here wearing a Halo shirt. I thought you might be sporting something for like Forza. Fable, maybe. I'm a little surprised.
Feeling, an anniversary, feeling nostalgic.
Something's on your mind. I wonder why. Cog, how are you doing today, sir?
Hanging in, brother. Hanging in, man. It's been rough. It's been rough as we talked offline. First of all, shout out to LSM fam and everybody who hit me up behind the scenes, just in general. Obviously, I had my procedure last week, and like I said, surgery was actually not that bad. I've had many surgeries before. I had septum surgeries. I had a gallbladder remove. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what a trooper.
Yeah, so the surgery thing, I do it. But like the recovery, oh boy, this has been rough. This has definitely been rougher than I anticipated. Sure. And it's taken a lot. I even had to call them and just be like, hey, have I regressed? Is this supposed to be happening? And they were like, no, you're fine. Give me some over-the-counter stuff to kind of help me out. I got my post-op next Tuesday. But I felt yesterday I turned a little bit of a corner. So I was like, okay, hopefully we're getting better. But yeah, this is rough, but we got to do it. And obviously I'm inspired by our guest who's on today. And because in order for me, the reason why I had to accelerate this is because in my family, the men on my mom's side have all, have not been here because of one thing. And the big C is a scary thing. And I think as men, we don't do early detection. We don't take advantage and go. And I definitely want to inspire our guest who's here because we want to send him a lot of love. First of all, I'm glad to see our guest. So let's
Yeah. Gene, how are you, sir?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? First of all, to talk to Cog about what he said. Yeah, man, if you guys think something's wrong, get it checked out. Lord knows if I had gotten myself checked out earlier, I did try to once I realized something was wrong and I just couldn't get it in. Remember, this was at the start of like COVID and everything like that too. So like it was real hard to get appointments and anything. And I was getting misdiagnosed and everything like that. But like if I had checked like maybe like 4 or 5 years earlier, I probably would have found something, and maybe I wouldn't have had as much trouble. So. Get yourself checked out. If there's something wrong down there, I would highly suggest you ask around, talk about it. Don't keep quiet. I know it's embarrassing. I know it's scary.
With men,
it's scary too. It's embarrassing and it's scary. Lord knows, I go through it every quarter, every 3 months. I have to go in for a CT scan. Man, I'm scared that we're gonna find a bomb in my body. And sure enough, we did. So now I can finally talk about it now that I'm actually, first of all, thank you so much to the Last Stand Media family, the community. You all turned out so much for my fundraiser. It's so much money, and it's more than I might need for my surgery at the moment. But I don't know what's going to happen in the future. But everyone turned out. It's overwhelming. I really don't know what to say. Honestly, I've never gotten anything like this before. This is overwhelming.
I got teared up because just the sheer overwhelming turnout of how much you are loved, brother. Like it really hit me. And first I want to get a personal shout out to Mr. Payo for signal boosting from initially, obviously LSM and Discord, stuff like that. And then obviously we all on socials, kind of got behind it.
Yeah, Mr. Maddie, Maddie too.
Oh, Maddie, everybody, bro. And when I saw the individuals who all responded talking glowing about you, from the Doug Bowsers to the biggest content. Like, it shows you, brother, you are loved, and we are all riding for you. So it warmed my heart to see that outcoming for us. So yeah, don't feel guilty. It goes to show your impact and how much people care about you.
I appreciate that. I wouldn't even know where to begin or end, really. I'll be grateful to the end of my days for sure. But yeah, sure enough, in November, I went in for a scan and we found a spot in my lungs. And that was what I've been talking about, Ellison, for the past few months. And, you always hope maybe the lungs is just, the spot is just tuberculosis or whatever, or pneumonia or an infection. And sure enough, it is a tumor that has been growing there since June 2024. So I've had it for the past year and a half, almost 2 years now. But so that's why it's been growing real slowly. And it only got noticeable in November. That's the thing. It started coming up as a blip in the scan. So since then, I've had numerous tests, blood work, heart exams, lung exams, biopsies. At one point I was at the hospital for, like, every day for the last 2 weeks. Jesus. Which is why I couldn't make it to the shows either. So it's been tough, but we, when I had a lung nodule show up in 2023, we did what's called a cryoablation, where you stick a needle in my lung and it flash freezes everything inside my lung, and that will shatter the tumor. It'll shatter the inside of the walls of my lung, and it'll shatter the tumor, and that should do it. But the percentage of recurrence of the cancer coming back is like 10% higher than if we just sliced it out, right? But this is on the other side of my lung. That was on the right lung. Now this one is on my left lung. My right lung is totally fine and actually super healthy. Nice. And so that's why, like, when the lung doctors looked at me, they're like, your lungs are actually really healthy, which is crazy for me to hear as somebody who started smoking since he was 15 years old.
That's a good point. I was thinking about that. Yeah,
I didn't quit until 2022, right? And I'm including vaping in that too, because vaping is pretty horrendous too. Yeah, so it was surprising to hear that my lung is healthy. But so we tried to, we wanted to do the ablation route again to preserve my lung. I'm still fairly young and I want to get rid of that. You can't grow it back. That's the issue. And we found another spot in my liver, which we were worried about. So I had to do an MRI. Thankfully, that was only fatty tissue.
Good.
There's nothing to worry about.
What type of MRI? Because you're the regular one. I hate that. I'll be shook. I ain't gonna hold you.
MRI is the one where you actually go into, like, the big tomb, and then
they put you in the coffin, bro.
Yeah, they put you in the coffin, and you're in there for like 30 minutes.
You gotta stay still.
Yeah, you gotta stay still. It's 30 minutes of rattling and noises.
You're the bravest man I know.
You're the bravest man ever. I gotta get that open, son. Like, I gotta get that.
No.
Open MRI as well.
I'm just enclosed in tomb. My feet are sticking out at least, so I can. As long as my feet are out, I got eyes on my feet. It
was one time the dude, Dr. So I was shook at one of my MRIs, man. I'm not afraid to say it. They had the nurse come in there and hold my hand. I was like, just for a little bit. We almost do. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good. I can keep it together.
I get it though. You gotta, like, have that contact beyond the tomb, right?
Like, my cheat code is, now that I got through it. She showed me some brief stuff, but actually my cheat code is I actually gotta make contact with myself. So if I, like, can somehow make contact with myself, just like, I'm okay if they allow that. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what type of MRI you do it. But yeah, bro, it's rough for me because I got what you call it when you have the what's the phobia when you're entrapped?
Claustrophobia. Yeah,
that's my job.
Yeah, they asked about that too, and I said, look, I've never been able to do these things. This is my first MRI.
Oh, so you was ignorant? You came in good.
So I was scared as hell, but I went in there and I was like, okay, this is not bad. And then they also played jazz music over the headphones.
Oh, so you lit.
So and
for me, I can't do that because when they put that on me and then shove me in, not only am I like these big ass headphones, like, but then I'm like, I got this machine like 2 inches from my face, and I'm like, I can't breathe. That's what happens to me. I was like, I can't, and I'm not really a super claustrophobic person, but yeah, that did.
I hate it. I mean, just talk about it freaks me out. But I just had to tank it. I just had to be like, fuck it.
Yeah, I think once you're in that position, I feel like you just overcome it because you're like, what can be worse, right? Like, I'd rather just go for this and get it solved, right?
Yeah. And it's like, I had to be like, look, there's people around. Like, they're not going to trap me in this thing.
You'll kill me. Oh, you're rational. Okay, I get it.
You're rational. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't fucking know any of you people. You leave me here. Freak out. The other thing that bothers me, bro, is because they put the pressure on. They're like, don't move.
Yes.
If you move,
the whole thing's done.
The whole thing over.
Yeah.
Or it's washed. Well, I'll see you later. I'm like, so I can lay in here for 30 minutes, suffering, agonizing, and complete stillness, only to leave and then be like, the image, man. You moved. You got to do it again.
Yeah. They kept talking to me too. So as long as they were talking to me and making sure that they knew that I knew they were there, then that was fine too. Sure. But yeah, so it's too bad. Like not too bad that I didn't have anything in my liver, but it's like you can cut out my liver and my liver can grow back.
Right.
The problem with the lungs is that doesn't come back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So that's why we thought about doing ablation. Unfortunately, the tumor in my lung right now is too central. It is too close to my heart and my airways. If we try to freeze it, there's a very real chance that we could freeze my arteries or my airways, and I will die. So now faced with the possibility that that the higher possibility of dying could happen, I was like, okay, I guess we got to cut it out then. That is a Walter White surgery. That is what Walter White needed to get in, I think, season 2 or something. That's what I got to get to. So hopefully I die at a hail of gunfire as opposed to the cancer. I would rather die at a hail of machine gun fire, among Nazis than die of the big C. That's for damn sure.
I feel you, brother. Well, you're fighting, we're pulling for you, sending you positive healing energy, brother, 100%. And you're taking all the necessary steps. So sending you good positive healing.
What a story that would be. If I died in machine gun fire, they're like, dude, did you hear Gene Park?
He got spared.
He was in that shootout, so he was busting his gun.
He was like that. He was like Ed 2 and I at RoboCop, man. It was crazy.
You got 5 seconds to comply. You got 15 seconds.
He was like that dude in Akira at the beginning, Yes. They got shut up like that, Like, I didn't know Gene Park was going to go out like that. That's crazy. the final Gene Park story,
Oh my god!
So I definitely preferred that, but so thank you so much. Everyone's support is making sure that you'll hear more Gene Park stories in the future.
No doubt.
Yeah, it was actually making the rounds on my stream. Both times I was live, there were people who would like super chat so that like I could leave notification up there, like go support Gene. Like it's linked on my Twitter account.
Thanks everyone, guys.
Yeah, everyone really showed out. You were beyond.
Again, I can't even begin to thank everyone. It's too much. It's crazy.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely. Guys, let's talk some video games, man. We just saw the 2026 Developer Direct. I figured we'll break each game up into its own segment. So those who don't want to hear, like the Forza Bros want to hear the Forza Bros takes, right? But like maybe people want to just skip straight to Fable. We're going to give them that option. We're going to go in the order we saw everything. And so the show opened up with Forza Horizon 6, boys. How we feeling?
We're jumping off. Let me jump off. Okay.
Yeah, jumping off. Yeah,
look, this is the one for me that I felt was like the safest. I wasn't worried about pick. You know what I'm saying? So, they jump off, they go to playground, we see what's going on. For me, it's going to hit a little more special being in Japan just recently, and being in Tokyo and Haneda and all these places. And the first thing I looked at, I was like, okay, graphically, it looks good, which is what I was expecting.
Yeah, the reflections on the car, pretty nice.
God. Yeah. And I just like the sensibilities of Japanese culture and the focus with that. You got your little pagodas, you got your certain things on the countryside. I got my bullet train race. I was worried about that. I was like, I saw my bullet
tail end, right?
Towards the end, I was like, let me get that. Because I had 2 things. I wanted that. I wanted some form of nighttime street racing. Mm-hmm. I know they may not be able to give me a Tokyo Drift mode off top. That may come later, but I saw the nighttime. I saw that. But the thing that impressed me the most was actually the verticality. There was some parts of the track. When you're in Japan, their roads, their highways just look amazing to me. Like, I don't know, it really is. It's very unique. And the twistiness and like the windiness of the roads coming from a higher verticality down to a lower verticality, I thought that was cool. And look, it's Forza. It's the other thing that I was impressed too, looks like they have a lot of customization as far as like community-based kind of creation kind of thing in it. And I thought that was interesting, even though I'm not really the guy for that. I thought that was really cool that they are trying to cater towards that. But yeah, for the most part, man, I was really impressed. I thought it looked phenomenal, looked great. Really didn't have too much other to say, but like this was the safe pick that I wasn't really worried about. And I'm like, yeah, as far as we'll be there, that kind of thing. And yeah, the season stuff and the festival. I guess my only nitpick was like I was hoping more. I think me and you talked about like out of the car stuff or something like that. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. But other than that, no, man, it looked good.
Yeah, it felt very business as usual.
Yeah.
It's coming out May 19th for those who didn't catch it. But yeah, Forza 5 in Japan. That's kind of the takeaway for me. I was like, all right. It kind of made an easy skip for me. I was like, all right, like this doesn't look bad, but I don't have any strong opinions on it. It just looks like a cool open world setting. I don't think it's enough to pull me in, but you could hear like there was a segment. I was teasing the Forza Bros on my stream. There was a segment where they were like cut all the audio and they just let the cars like listen to that engine roar, baby.
Baby.
At least all these car dudes are probably like, creaming their pants.
They would go crazy.
Yeah. They're like, oh, listen to that thing pick up there. That's good shit. Yeah, but it looked fun. It looked like Forza Horizon 5, which was a great game. And I might mess around with it one day, but for me, it wasn't like really getting me out of my seat or anything. Gene, did you have any strong thoughts, feelings, impressions on Forza Horizon 6?
Yeah, I love the Forza series. They're not my favorite series of all time, of course, but I love playing them. I love them so much that I realize, because I got my Raw Gala X, really enjoying it, still loving it. Most of the issues of that are pretty much out of the way. There you go. My only issue is that it doesn't seem to dock too well with my TV. I think it might even just be my TV issue, whatever. Okay. Because it works fine on the monitor, but it's always crashing and rebooting whenever I hook it up to my TV.
Are you using the Bulwark dock? The Bulwark dock?
I got the Bulwark dock too. So
that's right. You do got it. That's right.
I do. Yeah. So for some reason, it's just my TV. Because when I play it handheld, it works perfectly. Never crashes. Everything. It's an awesome device. But I wanted to get Forza Horizon 4 on Xbox, on Xbox PC.
Okay.
And I forgot it was goddamn delisted. They delisted it. So I had to go to cdkey.com and buy an old key for Xbox. So I do now have Forza Horizon on Xbox PC, which is awesome. And I actually liked Forza Horizon 4 better than Forza Horizon 5. I like the map better. It's England. Nice. It's their backyard. Yeah, they know their home better. And they lovingly created. I just thought the map was better. I like the festival scenario better. I just thought the music was better. So for me, what sticks out with 6, what I'm happy to see, you're all right. It just looks like Forza Horizon 5 is very safe. It's the same thing, right? So it's not super exciting. What does excite me though is the nice return to the urban street environments.
Yes.
Because we didn't get. I think the last time we got that was like Forza Horizon 3. To like actually have like big streets, and there are the urban environments in 4 and 5 too, but not like Tokyo.
Yeah. Did they show any off roads during this? I don't think they. I can't remember like us like ripping off into like the grass in any of these.
Yeah,
I felt like it was always street racing.
They showed stuff like on the sides and stuff like that, but they didn't really actually go off road like they normally do. Yeah,
they showed the environments, but they didn't show the off roading like you would see all over Mexico or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the environments look awesome. So that's what I'm most excited about. I'll definitely check it out whenever it drops. But yeah.
No, I'm with you.
I think not since Australia or since that we got nice bigger urban environments. So it's a nice return.
No, I'm with you. And shout out to like you said about the street part, because there was some parts that look a little Shinjuku, a little Shibuya. I'm like, okay, I was there. That looked good. And as far as the street stuff, and I'm with you on that, man. And I got my Mount Fiji in the back. I'm like, okay, what I'm saying, certain things they checklist box certain things, but yeah, more Forza, more safe.
Yeah, and that Gundam at the end too. So.
I forgot about that. That was a fun little tease there.
Yeah. So.
I like that. I did like the whole co-op racetrack builder element. I thought that would be a little fun thing for the Forza Bros out there to play in their little racing toy boxes or whatnot. Get your Hot Wheels out and rip them all over fucking Tokyo, whatever you guys do over there. But I just, I gotta balance it out. Gene's like way too high on this shit. I gotta provide. a nice gray area, as Playground Games would have said in another game that we'll talk about.
Ooh,
yeah, but no, it looked good. It looked good. May 19th for those who are interested. Any other thoughts, gents? All right. Let's move into this one here.
Not much. It's Forza. Yeah.
I feel like we'll have a lot of thoughts on this one here. Beast of Reincarnation. This is from Game Freak, the Pokemon developers. And they talked a lot of Pokemon.
They did.
To my surprise, I really didn't think they'd be allowed to ever mention its name on another platform.
Don't mention your
yeah, they're like, don't talk about that series everyone knows you for. But I'm like, it's fucking Nintendo, dude. They'll stop people for everything.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how much they mentioned it, but we got to look at this game. It's coming summer 2026. And it's very much not your typical Game Freak game in literally any imaginable way. Like, they've gone off and done things not Pokemon related, but this looks way more serious, very Nier inspired, Sekiro style combat, post-apocalyptic, set in Japan, very different video game. Like, I could see its inspirations clear as day, but for them, like, I'm surprised this game looks graphically acceptable. Like, there's just elements to it that I'm very surprised by. Gene, I want to start with you. What did you feel when you saw Beast of Reincarnation? Did this one jump out to you a little bit more? Because I went in kind of like, knowing it's Game Freak, any other developer, I would have kind of been more interested. But knowing it was them, and we just got off of Legends EA, and their recent performances on Pokemon have not been great, I was like, I don't really have a reason to be excited for this. But did you walk away feeling any form of excitement for it?
I think it looks good. I think it looks solid, actually. And yeah, like everyone, I was of course surprised by the mention of Pokemon. The developer interviews are funny. Like, you just never see anything like the Pokemon company would never put a shine on developers like the Xbox developer directed. They'll put that really handsome guy, that the COO of the Pokemon company, that like super like looks maxing guy, as the kids say, out, and he'll talk about the latest Pokemon release, but you never really see any developers talking about their game. And you hear these guys, they're like, oh man, it was my dream to like work on something else other than Pokemon, man. I feel like I can breathe again. It was crazy to see, like that one director guy. He was like, oh man, what is my dream game? If I could work on anything else. That said, I think the game looks okay, but it does, like, as somebody who's played a lot and loves a lot of character action Japanese action games, this one looks like another one. That's all I'll say, pretty much.
Yeah, I get your feeling there.
Yeah. And it's like 2 games in Japan, right? In this direct itself already. But it looks cool though. Like, the combat looks cool. It looks competent, and I guess I think I just need to play it to figure out like how it feels or looks. But that doesn't really feel like there's you got a dog companion and you can juggle and you can do combos, and that's cool. Again, I don't want to dunk on something that I haven't played. It's just like, it looks like a game that I usually like and I have played a lot of. So that's like, I'm not dunking on it. I'm just saying it looks cool. I played a lot of it. Sounds like I'll play more of it, I guess. So, like even like Ninja Gaiden 4, which I really enjoyed too, right? Mm-hmm. But even then, I was like, I played a lot of this already, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of, that feeling I was kind of left with too, of sort of, I've played these games before. Like, when I heard it,
games,
yeah. When I heard it, I was like, that's Stellar Blade, which was very much inspired by Nier. Mm-hmm. In every conceivable way. And it even had, for those who have played Nier Automata, you'll know the tower. And the tower has a track that's like a high key piano that just keeps going, and it just keeps going faster and faster, while a choir builds in the background. And there's a song in this direct that they play toward the end that's really good, but I'm not trying to be extreme. I swear on my fucking life, I thought this was straight up Nier. And the only way I could explain it, but they didn't mention it in the developer direct, is I'm like, I wonder if it's the same composer, because the same composer that did Nier went over and did Stellar Blade. And he's got like a very particular style of music. And this style of music, you could hear it clear as day in Beast of Reincarnation. And so it was that, it's a game I know I'd like, right? I look at it and I go, okay, this checks a lot of the boxes. I love post-apocalyptic. I love kind of isolating single player experiences. I love this style of music. But much like how I felt with Stellar Blade, when I played Stellar Blade, I was like, I dropped Stellar Blade. I was like, yeah, I've played this before. This is kind of like a shittier version of the thing I really love in Nier. And this kind of gave me that feeling. So I'm not sure if I'll play it this summer. It kind of depends on the release schedule. If I got the pocket, I might go for it. Cog, I'm curious how you felt about this one, though. Beast of Reincarnation. You love Pokemon, right? This feels like it's right up your alley.
I mean, when they were talking about Game Freak, I was like, I have no dog in this fight. Like, I'm not the Pokemon guy. So, to me, I like to gauge the temperature of the room, which is like, for people who like Game Freak in their games. And, the consensus I heard was like, yo, the optimization is always bad, on these Pokemon games. So I didn't come in with a lot of confidence in it. And then when it was initially shown, because we did see it one other time, I believe, really quickly at like a Game Awards or so. I felt like a clip of this before we saw this in direct. That's just my thought process.
We saw this at Xbox's showcase.
Yeah, I felt like I seen it quickly, right?
It was revealed, I think.
And I was like, okay, it looks cool. Nothing too crazy, something that looks cool, whatever. But my mindset was like, man, this is going to be one of them Souls joints, and I'm out. So that's where I came. So I'm watching this. I'm like, okay, this looks cool. The dog looks cool. Platforming looks cool. They got a little Groot thing on her foot, pushing her up to higher levels and doing the traversal, see the combat. But I'm not going front, Maddie. There was one moment where the game won me over. Okay. And they were fighting, and then it was like, boom. Turn-based, Expedition 33, UI, skills.
Yeah.
I said, oh!
It reminded me a lot of Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yes, I said, oh, yes. I was like, they came for the GOAT.
Oh, yours came in the mail too?
Yeah. I was like, I was feeling that Expedition energy. I was like, yes, there we go.
Music box.
I said, bro, they are inspired by this. So I'm in. So yeah, once I saw that, I said, you have my attention, Beast of Reincarnation. So yeah, I'm in now. I'm very much in. Because I thought it was Souls, bro. I literally thought I had this game pegged raw. I see turn-based. I see yes. Let's go. I'm in.
I'm just laughing because I can faintly hear the music box in the background.
Well, yeah, good. So it was a summer Game Pass. Oh, let's go. I got no excuse. I was like, is it Game Pass? I will try it. I will see what's going on out there. Yeah. So that's it.
It definitely earned its spot if the schedule is open. They actually had a response to the performance of the game that I wanted to highlight here.
Talk to me.
IGN did an interview after the direct, and they said Game Freak has received some criticism in the past few years for the performance and look of the 3D open world games for Pokemon. Beast of Reincarnation looks to be fairly ambitious. What would you say to those who are concerned that it might struggle in the same ways? And they said, I think when it comes to Beast of Reincarnation, and I guess we would regard it as the scale and ambition of the title when we approach game design, we're not looking to make, say, a title of a certain level of quality. We're looking to deliver a very specific game experience in visual fidelity and graphics. This is something that supports the game experience, everything that goes into that. This includes things like bug fixing, optimization, everything is there to serve the gameplay and the experience. Our focus is on that gameplay experience. Part of that, of course, is making sure that it performs really well, but our attention is more on getting the experience over to you and making sure that our vision can get into your hands and your hearts.
Yeah, they're just
you buying that, Gene? You want this vision in your hands and hearts over some nice optimization?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man. That just reads a bit like we're gonna try our best, guys, but like it's coming out when it comes out, like it or not. Yeah. So we'll see. I hope it does well for them. I hope it does well. But overall, yeah, I like the post-apocalyptic vibes. Combat looked pretty solid. I did like what Cog pointed out about the turn-based element of it all and how you could like control the dog's actions that way. And I hope the story is great. The story had a little bit of mysteriousness to it, so I could get down with that as well.
Post-apocalypse, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see how reflective that is. But Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by Shopify. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2026, the start of a brand new year, and your boy's going to be 31 this year. And when you start to realize time is this one resource that slips away, you can never get it back, you think of all the ways that you don't want to waste it. And more importantly, you think of the dreams that you don't want to let go to waste. Well, 2026 is the year you need to launch your business. And that's through Shopify, which makes everything easy. It gives you everything you need to sell online and in person, with millions of entrepreneurs having already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify has your back. back, and it gives you all the tools to build your dream store from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can choose online to customize and match your own brand. And with the built-in AI tools, you can get all of those placeholders in nice and easy, product descriptions, headlines, and then you can edit them later. Marketing is built in too, so you can create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they are. And all of this helps you grow, and Shopify is going to grow with you. They can handle your orders as your business gets bigger. They can expand you to new markets, and they can do it all from the same dashboard. So it just can let you stay small business in your mindset. In 2026, you need to stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Duke. Go to shopify.com/Duke. That's shopify.com/Duke. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side. We got a fourth game here that had been rumored to be a smaller game from one of Xbox's first-party studios, an indie-style game. And as it was predicted, it was a Double Fine game. It's called Kiln. It's coming out spring 2026, and it is a pottery party action game where you could like beat up different bits of pottery, and like a spirit that inhabits them like takes over these different pots that you can customize. And it's got a little fusion frenzy element to it. It's also got just like that chaotic, just fucking with your friends type party game energy. And it looked fun. It looked like a good time. This again is coming out spring 2026. Cog, I don't know why. I just thought of you and the Iron Lords though. And I was like, I'm curious how you feel about this in particular. Cause I'm like, this is creepy Cog at the park, is it not? We're talking about you're running around as a little pottery, beating things up, jumping around. Thoughts?
So obviously we heard the rumors about this game, right? Yeah. Coming in. So we knew it. So like, okay, Double Fine comes out, Schaefer comes out. You're like, okay, let's see what it is. And then, they got the little pottery thing and they're making these things. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I will say this. You could tell everyone at Double Fine loves this game.
Yeah.
They love it. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm having a moment, Maddie. I'm like, man. Like, if I go front, I'm in my feelings like, all right. And they went long. Like this
got 10 minutes at least. Yeah.
Bro, they got all, what is it? Kiln? What is it?
Kiln.
They got all the bars. So as I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna be for me. And I'm just like, why Double Fine? What are we doing? But then as it went on, and I was like, Cog, you could be hating, but this joint looked like it could be mad fun. Mm-hmm. And this could be you having your Grounded 2.0. Remember when I was hating on Grounded when I first saw it. I never forget. I remember whatever that showcase they showed, I was like, who is this for? What is this? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids nonsense. Obsidian, you're fumbling the bag. So in my mind, I'm like, Double Fine, you're fumbling the bag. And then I'm talking about when we get to what we just playing, I'm just like, man, they look like they're going to be in this lane. But I ain't gonna lie, as it went on, and I started to see it, and I was like, okay, I see the design. I see how this could be the ultimate party game and then catch a wave. So I'm going to reserve judgment for my hating creepy Cog self. Wait till it comes out. I think there is potential there. And I'm curious what you guys think, you know what I'm saying? Because the vibe in our chat, they was liking it. They was like, we don't care what you talking about, God. Like, we like it. This look fun, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. And I will say, like, the fact they got the arms on the pots, it kind of is giving me Cuphead energy with some little, it's a lot of little design things going on. So, yeah, there could be some potential here. So I'll reserve my own curmudgeon judgment. And I'll open it up to you guys. What do you think, G? What's your feeling on this one?
I will say that I am always, criticizing like Sony and Xbox for not having like a diverse lineup of games, especially Sony, we call them the sad dad games for a reason, right? Or like Revenge Saga games or whatever, the cinematic open world adventure or whatever. So shout out to Xbox, at least. This is absolutely checks that box of like a diverse game, something that's different, a party game that you need that. Sony doesn't have party games, right?
Yeah.
They did with Little Big Planet, and they just killed that. You know,
it was so popular too.
A Little Big Planet was great. You know, it was ahead of the game in terms of like like user generated content and everything like that. You know, and they just stopped it because they feel like it's not profitable. But you know, so shout out to Xbox and Double Fine. You know, I'm not the biggest fan on Double Fine. I'll say that much. You know. I try to play Psychonauts. I think it's very creative, but I've never finished one because you know it's just not my vibe. I don't like the vibe of Double Fine games. You know?
I get it. They're weird.
Yeah, they're weird, but it's not a criticism. I think they're good. I think they're unique. I want them to keep going. They should keep doing that. It's just not necessarily for me.
Your vibe,
yeah. I like Psychonauts. I think looks ugly, but but it looks cool in an ugly way, right? So it's like that's fine. It's kind of like how I thought Hollow Knight was ugly too. You know, it's like I think I just need more time with the games to probably just acclimate to them. Yeah, but you know, I just never really got into Double Fine games, and if anything, Kiln looks more interesting than Psychonauts to me. You know, art style wise, it definitely looks like a rare game. Just putting googly eyes on whatever. Yeah. And it's a brawler too, so that's definitely something that you know I'll check out. And you know I've actually been paying the $30 Game Pass subscription for the past 2 months too.
Wait, what brought you back? I'm nosy.
Nothing. Just to see whether I think it's worth it or not.
Okay.
And I probably will unsubscribe next month or whatever. I'm
just here to check it out. Then I'll probably just be out again.
But I've been using it for the past couple months. But I haven't really been using it though. That's the thing, right?
So it's not worth it. Yeah,
it's not really. It's not really worth it. But you know, it'll probably be worth it to check out. You know, once this drops or whatever. You know. So
yeah.
So, shout out to Double Fine. You know, you guys aren't for me, but I'm glad that you guys are there, and I think that they are definitely a feather in Xbox's first party lineup for sure.
I agree. It's funny. I was talking to my chat about that because some people were like, "Oh, this looks cute," and there were a lot of people who were just like, "It's funny, Gene. The term that was in my head was what was from one of your recent articles, ball and gun gamers." And I literally said to some of my chat, I'm like, "Some of you are ball and gun gamers, bro. Like, you guys will cry on Twitter and be like, all devs have to do is something different." And then they see something like Kiln, they're like, "Yo, you're fucking weird. What is this shit? Like, why isn't the pottery running around with like an AK?" I'm like, dude,
not be a ball and gun gamer. You know, just because I don't, just because the thing doesn't have balls and guns for me, doesn't mean that I think it doesn't. It looks like a bad game or an uninteresting.
I'm not saying you're a ball and gun gamer.
Yeah.
I love that archetype though.
Of course, yeah. No, I have no doubt people in chat were like, "What the fuck is this?" Right? So because I'm already like halfway there, you know, like personally. So I get it. It's
that awkward position of like, I don't like this enough to defend it, but guys, come on.
Yeah, and maybe I'm not a ball and gun gamer, but I'm definitely a swords and spell gamer, which we'll get into soon. But
I like that. I thought the game looked cute. I love how Double Fine thinks about their approach to games. Like, I like how they started the story saying we just do like a, what do they call it, a proto amnesia Fortnite or something like that.
Yeah,
and they just like take something and run with it. And it's cool because they just dropped Keeper, and like, I don't think Keeper lit up the sales charts, but like they did that, and then just immediately they're like, boom, here we are. Like, is there a next thing? We'll see you in spring. And so I wonder if this is just something they're going to keep riding with, because what I talked about a little bit was just wondering, are they working on a big game?
Right.
Or are they just doing a lot of little things now?
Games. That's what I was wondering about.
Because Keeper's, you know, like I haven't played it, but I'm saying it's fine and sort of existing. Kiln looks fine and sort of existing. But like, are they trying to, we talked about this, Cog, like when the layoffs started happening, are they trying to lie low?
Right.
Like, are they trying to be like quietly under the radar? Like, 100K on the budget for that? Who? Who's Double, like Saya's like, who's Double Fine? They don't matter. Like, they're not affecting our overall budget one way or the other. So are they trying to fly low and they don't want to make like a Psychonauts 3, like a big game? Like, I'm just curious kind of where they're at on that, because I like these little things, but I think these little things can be more exciting if you know that it's not taking away from a big thing, if that's what they're going to do. But I do like the way they think about things, how this game just came alive. And like you say, Cog, you can feel that they really loved it. They like grabbed onto the idea, the stickers that you could put on your pot, and the way you could like shape your pot. And I was wondering, I was like, how customizable is that shape, bro? Because you already know some people like me who are going to go toilet humor with it are going to make
phallic stuff happening.
Dick-shaped fucking pots and start like whipping around, slapping people, and just being like, "Hey, dude, why not? Let's ruin some multiplayer experiences in Kiln."
Bro, in my chat, it was like, because that literally this type of stuff I used to do at Meta, where it would be like kind of protecting online communities from specific form of content, and I was like, they're gonna need someone to be on the job because some of these things that's gonna be molded, versus each other is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it looks like a fun time. Again, not to me. This was the high level thoughts, like one of the weaker developer directs. Like I didn't walk away from 3 of the 4 games feeling any sort of strong emotion. Like I was like, fine, okay. Fine. I felt something was broken in me. I'm like, is something wrong? Like I just don't feel like I have much to say about any of these games. But this last one I have a lot to say about. Shall we, gentlemen?
Let's get it.
Fable. Day 1 on PS5, by the way. Autumn 2026. So anytime between September and November, we'll see you there. We'll decide when that exactly is. We saw 10 minutes of this as well. And there's so much to pick at here already, right? We had so many questions going into this. What is Playground's vision of Fable? We had surrounding interviews talking about, like, is this a reboot or not? How is morality represented in this game? And they really did a good job answering it all. I can't pretend I loved every answer they gave, but by and large, I thought this game looked really great. Way better than I expected it to in some ways. They're taking some new ideas forward that I am mixed on, particularly with choice and consequence and morality. But otherwise, when I saw starting your own family,
yes,
the way I got so giddy in my, I was like, oh my God, dude, like the kids are running around playing. I'm like, that is fucking awesome. That's what I want. So the social economic sim of it all was covered. To me, that was easily the best part. Living population is a really cool idea. Basically, they've turned morality into a reputation meter. There's so many things to talk about. Combat, the fact that it's a seamless open world, we see a fully realized Bowerstone, like tons of things to pick at here. I'll start with you, Cog. What stood out to you, generally speaking? You know, like, did you like it? And also, how are we feeling going into this autumn?
I'm going to say something controversial. First of all, I loved the ambition of this game. This game, wow, the things that they are trying to do. Remember, I'm coming from the casual Fable perspective. A lot of guys I know, like yourself and, Addict, a couple other people I know, Fable is very key to them as far as what Xbox is. I came in Halo, and other stuff. So when I saw it, I'm like, okay, let's see what they're going to do. And I got to be honest. This is my honest, brutal nitpick. I got to get at them this. I felt they were scared to show. Because if we looked at we show Horizon, right? Full-on gameplay, devs in the back. They kept talking in the beginning, like, hey, it's going to be this, and it's going to be that, it's going to do this. And they had like the gameplay in the back. I'm like, come on, guys, just go. Let it flow. Now, they eventually got to it, right? And I'm like, okay. So my main issue, and I have to say, because it was bothering me, is the frame rate in combat.
Yeah.
The frame rate in combat was bothering me. So I'm like, ooh. That's why y'all was hiding. Y'all still need a little bit more time to cook on that. Now, when they're in the town and they're moving around and you're interacting, and then every NPC is fully voiced and have the ambition of this game. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you got my romance. You got your family. You can get your little polygamy on. You know what I'm saying? Like, then I saw the Britishness. And I was like, yeah, they was like, yeah, so what, you're rich? Well, yes, we all know you. And then she described him as like, they call you a rich twat.
Yeah, I love that shit, yeah.
I was like, okay, we going all the way with it. Then the choice of consequence, and then towards the end, where, the big giant dude that that we see on the trails of the cinematic stuff, like one choice of consequences, if, you choose to kill him, he's a dead body in the town, like Gulliver's Travels in the back. I'm like, yo, that's fire. I was like, so what I'm impressed with is the sheer ambition, the scope. In this game, definitely 30 frames per second. It's definitely there because the CPU bound as far as everything that they do. They said every single person in the game you can marry, voice, interact with, reputation with. This is going to be the most CPU. I'm thinking, like Dogma energy, but remember like Dragon's Dogma had like a lot of stuff going on. They're doing a lot. So for me, I tuned in the attic. I tuned into the fate. I'm like, how are you guys? They're like, Cog, we are satiated. They understood the assignment as far as the core gameplay and everything from a fantasy standpoint. Me, all I want you to do is please fix this frame rate in the combat. Please. That's all I want. Yeah. Everything else, because I rewatched it. I was like, nah, God, the game.
I rewatched it too. Yeah.
It looks good. Don't front. Yeah. It looks amazing going through. Oh, male protagonist.
Yeah. Yeah, and a character creator, or at least the head selector.
I don't have to hear the grift goons. I don't got to hear that for the whole year. Thank God, because there's a part of me that was worried. Because for me, I look at it like, look, Fable. In order to be Fable, you got to go there. And I was worried. I'll be honest that in this climate, right, politically, socially, that maybe they wouldn't go there. Maybe they would just lock it into one, protagonist, and they wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, give you the creator. I saw the creator. I was so happy. So they answered that question. There's more to stuff to talk about. Obviously, we got the interviews with IGN and obviously the Xbox Wire and stuff. But I'm going to defer to you guys. I again, satiated with the scope. I know I'm going to love it. I think it's nailing everything from a core assignment part. I just want them to fix the frame rate. And then I guess as it gets towards the end, we got autumn, right? So now it's like, okay, that could be September or whatever. I think they're trying to play it slick. Wait to see what GTA does. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. If they can nail September, great. But if it's later, then I wouldn't be surprised, if GTA does come, you may get a little February 2027. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how they plan it. And I guess my last question for you guys is, they gave us a little bit here. If it is this year, do you think we double up at the showcase again?
Yeah, I think I'm with you that I don't think they showed a lot that answered core concerns. I think there's still a ton we need to see though.
Yes.
Progression, leveling, certain areas of reactivity and how that functions. That was my primary thing. They really need to cross some stuff off on that list. For me, at least.
I got you.
Just to understand how they're fully thinking of the game. Do what Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did. Just show a quest uninterrupted, and that'll answer everything.
That's what pissed me. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you go, G. I just had to I'm going to tell you why that's what I was nitpicking, because like I said, I've been waiting so long for this, right? Yeah. And then everything prior that we've seen of Fable, the criticism was always a quick cut. And I just like, man, just let us rock on a quest.
Yeah. It wasn't like a quick cut this time, but it was longer beyond it was like a clip now.
Yeah, and I felt like even the way it started their presentation of this game as a studio, they kept putting the camera on dudes. And I'm like, bro, if you don't get off my screen and show the game and talk about it uninterrupted like you did every other title on this direct, that's what was annoying me. I have to nitpick because I always give them their flowers. I love Developer Direct. It's one of my favorite showcases, but I was like, I did that for a reason. Y'all still tweaking and twerking and behind the scenes. But enough about me. Gene, I gotta know how you feel, because I'm curious.
I agree with you that I wish they showed more extent. Like, this needs like a Starfield 40-minute direct style thing, I think, well, I don't know if it needs it, right? But doing one would definitely shine more light on all these systems. But all that said, though, I'm going to echo what your chat said or whatever like that. Like, this is hitting all the right spots for me. When they were talking about having the game within the game of the simulation of the social games of playing landlord or being able to marry anyone NPC, that is the original Fable experience. You can romance anybody, you can literally marry anybody, you can have a kid with anybody. When they were talking about just doing all this stuff with all these villagers or whatever, that is exactly what I did. That is, for me, that was the game of Fable. Was fucking around with these NPCs. I've told the story before, but one of my favorite things about Fable 1 was, they had the fight club in the village where you can pay some money and you just brawl out with somebody in the village, right? Mm-hmm. But what I would do is I would get literally every single person like in the village, if not Albion, to fall in love with me, and then that person will follow you, right? And then you got like a little mini cult following me. So I would have like 20. I would be rolling with 20 dudes deep, right? Like, and they're all like gay for me. And then I would go into the fight club and I would start fighting. And because this dude is attacking me, 20 people will start jumping him.
Oh, you had the Wu-Tang, you had the Killer Bees with you.
Yeah. So it was like, fight back, when the guy wasn't doing anything, because I had amassed this gay cult for me. And it was amazing. And I was like, I love Fable. Peter Molyneux lied about everything else, but what's here is amazing and so reactive and fun in a way that I don't really see other games doing it. It's not Baldur's Gate where they're like, oh, who you gonna fuck, blah blah blah, whatever like that. This is like real gaming right here. Like,
this is real gaming right here.
Fuck with these people, So that is my biggest like draw for that, and I want to see how far that I can push the system again. That said, yes, the game looks like it runs like trash for sure. Definitely like I don't think it even really looked 30 frames per second from the trailer. I thought so. I thought it was like riding like 25, 24, 20 frames per second. I don't care. That's fine. The original Fable games ran like crap for me, and this is doing a lot. If you have a persistent giant corpse in the background that doesn't need to be there at all, that's cool. I'm glad that I'm glad they showed that up. But I'm also kind of glad. I also kind of wish they didn't. It would be a kind of a cool thing to figure out in the game. But I get it. You got to show like one big feature, and that was obviously a big feature for many reasons. I thought the combat looks amazing. I love the fact that the camera pulls back so fucking far, dude. The FOV goes back so far, and it's like, yes, this isn't a stupid ass God of War or the thing where the camera is just going to take up like 3/4 of the screen, or Hellblade 2 or whatever like that, where it's just like you just see like the person's back for like most of the time. No, like the over the shoulder camera, it's like whatever. I kind of wish that it wasn't an over the shoulder camera. I wish the camera was always scaled back, and maybe there's camera settings that'll do that. But seeing the combat like that, that's awesome. You get to see the whole field, and you need that for Fable because you're going to be switching between magic and long distance weapons and swords. So you need to have that awareness of the entire field to be able to manage the battle in that way. And Fable was always really cool and like having multi-directional combat. It didn't have the deepest combat, but you can definitely hit wherever you want it to.
Yeah,
and it was very fluid. You switch it. There weren't any pistols in this one, right? I kind of wish
I didn't see the pistols. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see those.
Yeah. Where are the guns, man? Fable 2 had the rifles and the guns. And Fable 3 too.
Technology might just need to advance since they're rebooting the whole timeline. They said. I think that might be the idea. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
They had those like crossbows that fired really fast, so maybe that's their like answer to it.
That's cool, but I do want like a musket. I want a gun. So I'm a baller gun gamer. Come on, guys. I need this. I still need this.
No.
What else? I guess my biggest complaint is still the complaint I've had about this new Fable since the beginning is the art style. I wish it wasn't hyper realistic. This isn't like like I've seen people debate on whether like Resident Evil should have been what was always meant to be hyper realistic, or whether it had an anime style in the OG PS1 trilogy. I think that is more like that one is like I think that they meant to have it more realistic, but it's just the limitations of the consoles back in the day that just made it look like a little bit more anime style. And it was cool, but then once you get to Resident Evil 4, like you look at characters like Salazar or like whatever, they're all wrinkly and they're trying to look more realistic. The zombies look more realistic. So it's like, okay, I think, and that was made by Shinji Mikami. Shinji Mikami wanted to have a realistic first-person shooter. So that's, I don't begrudge Resident Evil for going realistic. And it works amazingly. With Fable always had a not realistic style. There was always this British caricature of like big chins and like big ears and big noses. They all look like Monty Python characters, and now they just look like millennial chunguses. So That's my issue. It's like, oh, oh, cool. I get to control millennial chunguses as opposed to a Monty Python character. So that's my issue. I wish they actually had an art style as opposed to, oh, look, I think the environment is amazing. Awesome.
I like the environment.
Dude, fucking Bowerstone, man. They had all locations. Dude, I cannot wait to open world walk into Bowerstone and see the bridge.
No load screen.
Dude, if there's no loading screen, even if there was a loading screen, I wouldn't begrudge it. But if there really is no loading screen, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
no wonder this shit is not running in 60 frames per second. This is a Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't going to have the amount of detailed NPC interaction that this game has.
This is insane. You could tell this is going to be an incredibly CPU bound game. Like this stuff
Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 has all those NPCs doing crazy shit and always calculating different shit or whatever like that. And that's what this game is going to be doing. So I'm super excited for that. But dude, to be able to walk into Bowerstone and walk into the town square, see the statue, see the fucking castle up there, to walk up to that castle Elden Ring style, that's crazy, man. Like, dude, like what if this is my dream game? It might be, because like my biggest issue with Elden Ring, I love Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a kind of dream game, but the problem with Elden Ring is that you can't do anything else other than kill shit. I am hoping for a From Software game that does something else other than roll and kill shit. Gotcha. The quote unquote roll slap of From Software.
Roll slap.
I would love a game where you can do more than just like hit an NPC and they die and you're like, oh shit, I didn't mean to hit you. And other than that, they're quest givers or shops or whatever like that. Fable might be it. That might be it.
There's a lot of potential.
What do the dungeons look like? That's why I would like to see more. Like what are the Fable didn't really have a lot of dungeons. You'll have caves and they were very linear. Which I didn't mind at all. It's fine, you finding these dungeons in the first place is the fun part. And of course, like all of these reactive quests and everything like that too. So I've gone long enough. Like I could go on forever, but I was very, very happy with the showcase. I think it looks amazing. This is definitely now my most anticipated game of the year.
Oh wow.
Right up there with GTA 6. And GTA 6 is only because of like its cultural like impact or whatever like that. I don't like, if anything, I would rather play Fable right now.
Yeah. I think for me, Requiem still has the edge for my excitement. I'll throw in, because I want to compliment Sandwich Team. I started off positive. I'm going to throw in my light concern / internal wrestling war, tug of war thing I got going on here. And then we'll end with, for me at least, some positive stuff. So I am a little bit conflicted. I was talking to Locke about it. I was like, I'm a little conflicted on what they're doing with choice and consequence, because it's there, right? Like it's there. We're talking about like the dude dead in the open world, and like how they said in the developer direct, like he's going to crush houses, house prices are going to go up. It'll reflect how that community thinks of you. And I think like that right there, I'm like, okay, so it's choice and consequence. The difference between what Playground is doing and what prior Fable games have done is that it's really what we just have here is a reputation system, which can still be responsive, but it's not morality. And when I read in the IGN interview that they are getting rid of like physical changes to your character, so if you do a bunch of evil shit, you're not going to like grow devil horns over the course of your playthrough.
No horns?
Yeah, no horns, no halos, nothing like that. So
that's cool. I hated the way.
You didn't like it?
I hated that. I hated that. Dude.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. So
I hated being good, and then your skin is like pale white, and then your hair becomes white and everything like that. Like I always nerfed my Fable 1 character because I didn't want him to look like because if you get maximum strength, he gets like super buff.
Jacked.
He's like he's like super jacked. I was like, dude, that's not me. I don't want to look like. I want to be super strong but look like me. So I always nerf my character. They didn't do that for Fable 2 and Fable 3, but I didn't really like the devil horn and angel horn thing either. So I'm kind of glad that's
interesting.
See, I love that personally. I always thought that was a cool way to reflect who you were in this world, and you were just always seeing it. So I think their idea is like the world is going to do that instead of your character. So instead of you seeing horns on your character, when you see that dead giant on the hill, it's like, I made an evil choice, and I fucked over this community here who now it's like a wide sweeping decision. So that's what I was wrestling with a bit. I'm like, it's not the morality system. It's just not.
Okay.
But
I take it back. The devil shit looks cool though. So like I forgot some of the outfits that you get, but anyways,
you do get the new outfits and whatnot. Yeah. And there are certain like, there's also like ways that you can overturn your karma system, which I think a lot of games fought with a bit. Like in Fallout 3, you could give that one guy water bottles constantly and become good karma whenever you want. And obviously it's easy to get bad karma, just steal a bunch of shit. So you could break these morality systems easily. In Fable, you could like go to the church, I think, and like do some good deeds, get some good, some more humanity to your character, and eventually they'll overturn their appearance, those sorts of things. So I get where they're going here. To me, Fable exists in that objective good and objective evil. It doesn't exist in the gray area they described. Like you can really see in my video talking about the wish list I had for this developer direct. I said, I get it in gaming. It's much more interesting to have nuance and morality, like a gray area. It's not black and white, but I'm like, Fable is black and white. So right when they said the words, I had to quote it here because I said, I can't believe how accurately they said it to the exact opposite of what I wanted. They said, it isn't black and white. There are gray areas. It's subjective and our world reflects that. I'm like, oh, fuck. And as I thought about it more, I'm like, okay, so basically morality's gone. You've got this reputation system here. The physical representation of those good and evil choices are those kind of world-changing things like killing the giant. Hopefully there's more of those. And then those types of changes to the world will make wide, sweeping reputation level changes to particular communities who we saw on display with the living population. They'll respond to you in ways like calling you an imbecile. With that in mind, I don't know if it's going to have an impact on the main story, which became my next question. Because I was reading, I have the screenshot here on my computer because I made a video about this. I was reading the Xbox Wire post and they said, they asked, does the living population tie in the main quest? And their answer was, tying the main quest and the living population together in a really overt way didn't seem like the right way to go. So we've deliberately linked them in the lightest possible fashion. There are sometimes when characters in the main quest will reference your reputation or things you've done previously, but we never want to force a player to have to go and interact with those things in order to progress the main quest. We know there are some players, we call them bards, who just play through the main story. They're going to the start, they're going to start at the start and they're going to get to the end, and that's going to be their experience, and that's fine. It's a respectable way to play. But there are some players who we call architects who we know are going to go and mess around with the systems and just see where they can push them, see what they can achieve with it. And we want them to have the freedom to do that at any point as well. So I think there's two ways of reading this, right? There's the one way you could read it like Todd Howard describing the settlement mode in Fallout 4. Like, yeah, it's not tied to the main quest. Like, it's just this whole separate mode. And it sounds like they're viewing the living population and the social and economic simulator as a mode separate from the choices that you'll be making that affect this population. The other way I kind of read this is like, does this mean I don't know if both of you played Star Wars Outlaws? Gene, I know you played it, but
I did. Yeah.
Okay. So Star Wars Outlaws has a reputation system, and it's a really cool idea. Like all the different gangs, like the Pike Syndicate, based on choices you make, actions you take, your reputation with them falls. Part of the problem with that game is how they enforce it. They enforce it by gangs just harassing you when you're driving around the open world, like constantly. But the other problem they have is that when you get to the main story and you're in a shitty position with the Pike Syndicate because you favored this other side of the gang warfare going on, when you go to the main story and they need to put you into a quest where it's like, okay, go talk to the Pike Syndicate, it's like they don't respond to you, like they absolutely despise you. And I don't put that request on many games because it's a lot to balance, right? You got a ton of plate spinning. I only ask it because this has been in development for so long and my expectations are high, because if you're going to take morality away and you're going to substitute with reputation needs to have impact. So again, I think there's a couple ways to read how this living population impacts the main quest line. I could be dead wrong. But it's like what I would call it is a lingering concern, not a complaint. Overall, I'm like here for it. I'm like, okay, this is their vision. This is their change. And I think it can play out in a way where the game's always talking to me. One of the things I love about Fable is Fable's always talking to me. It's the characters in the world are always talking to you, calling you names, quipping at you, right? Like that's always responding to you.
They boo at you.
Yeah, they boo you when you walk by if you're like a really evil person, right? They cheer you just randomly. Like they don't act like real people.
Hero.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
So I think the reputation meter can enforce that. And if that's on top of the physical change in the world, I don't think I'm going to have a major complaint when I play this. But I can't act like my hair isn't a little bit up on end. Like I'm a defensive little dog right now. Like, Like, what are you doing over there, right? Like,
So
I'm inspecting the premises.
I got a quick question. So is it your effect on, we got the liver, I understand your points on the liver population. So my question for you is a reference to the main quest line. You want to make sure it correlates to that and that it's not separate? Or?
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying, okay, so the way they described it, just to bring my thoughts in a roundabout way, the way they described it is each reputation you have in a settlement is different. So you could be a hero to one place and a villain to another.
Correct. That's what I got from that.
So that's an easy way to split it up and have all these separate things happening and have you have agency over the world without you like really wreaking havoc on the entire game and making it too unpredictable. For me, I guess where I fall in this part of the conversation is like, how many wide sweeping decisions are there? Like, do they have more like that giant? Because if they do, problem solved, right? You have tons of visual representation. When these communities don't like me, do they not do business with me? Do they just curse at me? Do they kick you out of town? Do they attack you on site? Those types of questions need to be answered. Like, what is the responsiveness to it?
Okay.
If I have to go to a place that hates me, but it's for the main story, does the characters go, oh, you, and then we have a normal cutscene?
Right. And then it kind of ignores the whole, which is your outlaw's point.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just, Ludo narrative dissonance 101.
No, I got you.
Not to be, finger in the air, wagging it around, like a little narrative dissonance. But that type of stuff for, I think, a role-playing game with choice and consequence can take you out of it a little bit.
That's fair.
Something with Ubisoft where I'm like, I don't expect it from them. So I didn't like really grind hard into the reputation system for that game compared to its other problems. But with something like this, I'm like, if you don't really deliver on that, I will have more to say about it. But that was like my main conflicting feeling. Choice and consequence looks to be there. I just think they're reshaping it and defining it because this is a complete reboot. And so that was the other thing I was a little mixed on, but I see the vision. Like Fable 3 goes through the Industrial Revolution. If you were to say, set this 200 years in front of Fable 3, it's like, what is it, a modern game now? And you can't have that moment of exploring this kind of fairy tale land and like, oh, this is the stuff I saw from Fable 1, 2, and 3, which I think would have been really cool. But I think because Fable 3 moved things so far down the timeline, they had to just reset. So I get it.
Quick question. What's your favorite Fable game?
1.
Okay, got it.
Love Fable
1.
Yeah, the dev seemed to be inspired by 2. The second question I have for you, Maddie, is how are we feeling about Doggate? No dog.
I'm fine with that. Okay. I also think that could be like a thing they're going to surprise us with later. Okay. They seem to be big on making sure with this direct, they hit every core principle.
Yes.
I don't think a core principle to Fable was the dog. That's just a Fable 2 thing. But I do think like a core principle.
Fable 3 too.
Yeah, Fable 3. That's true. That's fair. I don't know. I don't view it as a core principle personally, but I'm not up in arms that there's no dog.
Gene, Doggate, how are we feeling?
I'll be real. I didn't even notice that there was no dog. So,
yeah.
And I'm someone who considers Fable 2 his favorite, right? And I even like Fable 3 sometimes.
Fable 3 is a great game. It's just got too many load screens. Right?
Yeah, it's got a lot of bullshit. The start menu sucks. I can't believe that the menu screen is just another like area that you got to load into and walk around. That was crazy. The morality system was stupid, and the ending was crazy too. But like there was so much fun shit to do in Fable 3. But it's mostly because it was a sequel to Fable 2. Fable 2, I loved. The world was amazing. I loved the adventures, the quests, the story. All awesome, yeah. But even despite Fable 2 being my favorite, I didn't even notice the dog wasn't there. And to be quite honest, I'm a little fucking tired of the pandering, developers pandering to the can you pet the dog Twitter account. I know the guy who runs it, so he's cool. I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong, but it fucking sucks. The developers go out of their way to pander to that account.
Yeah.
So I don't mind, but yeah, like if a dog comes up later, that'll be awesome. I'll engage with that system the whole time. I did love the dog in Fable 2. Fable 3, the dog was just there. Just because the dog was there in Fable 2. In Fable 2, the dog was part of the story, man. Like you needed the dog. The dog was there with you since childhood. Since you guys were puppies, So that was huge. So if there's like a written dog meat like story into this, then that'd be cool. Yeah. Don't mind it much to me. And yeah, Fable 2.
He's one member of the living population. To end my compliment sandwich, I'm curious if you guys have any other thoughts. Combat kind of caught me off guard in a good way. I liked what Gene mentioned about the camera because I didn't really think about it like that, but I've complained so much about a lot of these third-person games. You know, here's your lock-on camera. It pulls in. It's the full body up against the camera. And it's like,
roll,
and
parry.
you're rolling. You're circling the character. I was so happy just to see like, oh, a third-person action game.
Yep.
Thank you. It's not that fucking hard, guys. It is, but I'm saying like, you know, from my point of view, I'm like, guys, come on. Like someone think of something. Just go back to basics with third-person combat. I was so happy to see that. I love the weakness targeting. Like there was one point they were shooting the body and nothing was happening. And so she knocked him back and then shot his leg out and he fell over. I thought that was fucking awesome. I loved watching how enemies could hit their comrades if they were clumsy. Very cool. Kind of emergent element was really cool. And they had the same like strength, skill, and will on display. They're calling it style weaving combat, which I'm very open to, just being able to change all those styles on the fly. So overall, like I think they show. Oh, also other thing I really loved, starting as a child, very underrated, underdiscussed core principle to Fable, but having that origin, like it's no coincidence that Fable 3, where you start as just like a prince, right? Like you're just an adult, doesn't have as much of an impact on people. Where like Fable 1 and 2, you start off as a kid, and I love how. Yep. I love the ambiguity of the origin story because it's like it could be the origin story of a great hero. It could be the origin story of a devilish villain, right? Like it could be, you know, your Oakvale gets burned down in the first Fable game. Do you kill everyone because of it? Or do you decide to not let it define you and save everyone in spite of it, right? And this story starting off with like your town being frozen to stone and I've got to save my grandma. I love that because it's like, okay, how do you respond to that? Do you just fuck everyone up now? And they're keeping it very cagey who this mysterious stranger is that turned them to stone. I think Teresa's involved. That's my prediction. I think they're going to bring her back. But yeah, man, I mean, overall, good showing. I want to see more. There's question marks for some aspects, but overall, sold enough. I do wish I walked out like completely 10 out of 10 hype. I hate that I'm on like the 7, 8 out of 10 on the scale, but still good showing.
I'm at a 10 out of 10 hype for sure, I think.
Nice.
I think so. Yeah.
Good.
I just need to see. I can't wait to see more. But my God, I just want to play right now. It worries me that they can't nail down a date.
Yeah.
They are building this plane as they go. So we'll see.
Good way of describing it. Day one on PS5. That got confirmed. Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Day one on PS5. I thought that was maybe the reason for the delay. It probably was. But yeah, now you mentioned like performance concerns. I'm like,
that's what I was thinking. Because I was like, okay, because remember with Forza, it's not the same thing, right? We said Forza going to PlayStation towards the end of the year, right? So to me, now that we know they consider this a pillar franchise, they call it one of the 4 horsemen of 2026 as far as Xbox releases. They value that simultaneous release. They want this to be successful.
It has to bang.
It has to bang. So now I'm like, okay, maybe, again, I'm not giving anyone a pass because, again, the combat looks great. I just want you to get your frame rate together. That's all. Because I want to walk away from this so calm. Like, remember when I walked away from Indiana Jones when I first saw from a performance standpoint? I was like, oh my God, look how smooth it runs. That's the only thing that kept me from my 10 out of 10 thing. I'm looking at how amazingly ambitious this game is. But now you throw in, okay, PlayStation at launch. As a studio, they're going to need more time to optimize all these different platforms. And that's why I give them much time as they want to cook, let them rock. And I'm with you on that. When I saw the PlayStation, I said, okay, maybe that's what it is. And now you throw an additional platform in later in the cycle. And, you know,
if they delayed it for the PlayStation release, you know, look, as a business person or business sense, that makes a lot of sense. I get it, right? As a Fable fan, fuck you, PlayStation. Fuck you. I wanted this shit earlier, man. You gotta wait longer because fucking PlayStation dudes who never fucking played Fable are being fed for this shit. Fuck that shit, man. I have all the Fable games on my Xbox. I've been waiting for this shit for like goddamn how long? I've got Game Pass. I almost died before this shit came out, man.
Gene Cooker. He's like, I don't care about them. F they feelings. I want it now.
Yeah, fuck PlayStation, man. What the hell is this shit, dude?
We need this to win, Gene.
Fuck Nintendo too. You know, like
everyone's just fuck them all.
Fuck them all. Yeah, if they can't, I would say the same thing if they had a Switch 2 release. I'm like, fuck that shit. I have to wait that long just to have a Switch 2 version. I don't care.
I think the difference is this: what you guys said. Fable has to bang, right? But what would you say about Forza? Forza will bang.
Forza will bang.
Yeah,
Fable will not. The problem is that Fable is niche, because there's only like a couple million dudes like me and like all of us who play Fable. But it didn't sell it wasn't a triple platinum type of game,
Yeah.
So
I think it can sell better being multi-plat, being as ambitious as it is, a reintroduction with those elements that people love from that series. Like, I don't know why. Game reminded me a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, and I could just see a lot of these Harry Potter.
That's why I hate the art style, man, because they look like fucking art, like Hogwarts.
I can just see a lot of these Harry Potter dorks pulling up and being like, "Oh, what's this?" While they're waiting for Hogleg too.
See, it appealed to my casualness. I was like, "Oh, I like this," but to you guys are the hardcore, so I respect it. Like, you guys are like, "Look, they had a very bespoke, specific thing." And I can understand if you guys don't like this, but I mean, I love it.
I go back and forth on the art style because I do wish it was more like the original. But here's the thing, man. So many, what did my editor call it? He called it like the epic riot style. Like, so many developers do that style of character now. And I think it sends a terrible message nowadays. When you have like a softer pastel, like very colorful world, I just think people look at that and just think, oh boy. I really, when you think of all the games of the last like 3 or 4 years that have been dinged, they share a look, right? They kind of fall into a bucket. And it's funny because this decision was made before any of that was a thing. But I think Fable dodges a bullet by using Forza tech that we might be having a totally different conversation right now if it did have that softer look.
Right.
From my point of view. It's weird because they talk about how it's supposed to be this fairy tale world. Like in the Xbox Wire poster, like, they Lionhead in the original design document said it's not fantasy, it's a fairy tale. And like, that really hit us hard. And then it's so strange that they say that, but then you look at so much of their world and it's such a commitment to realism on so many different levels. Like the way NPCs behave, the morality system, and how it's like, it's not objective good or objective evil. There's gray area in the middle. I'm like, why are you guys committing? So like, this is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or some shit, So the way they're thinking about it is a little weird. You can tell it's their first RPG.
I do want to,
they're just not consistent.
I do want to remind people who are upset that there's no like straight like good or evil path. Nobody plays the evil side. You guys do.
I do.
You do. But you look at the Mass Effect stats,
Oh, how many Paragon versus Renegade?
Yeah. It was barely anyone playing Renegade, right? So when you see the user data of people, of nobody engaging with the evil side, really, why are they bothering to program that shit? I
think Obsidian has the right mindset on it, where it's like that 5% means the world. Like, like I think when not that you're saying it doesn't, Gene, but like I think when Obsidian kind of described it that way, where it's the water cooler moment.
Yes.
It's the clip online. It's the video you see. It's I didn't know that game did that. I think RPGs, the beauty of them is like your appreciation of them is like an evergreen thing. Like you just learn more about it and you're like, I forgot that was a thing because this game is so big. I just haven't played in a while. And I forgot that you could do this. You see someone else talking about it while you're familiar with it.
That's
like,
a good point.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think Fable or any RPG, any self-respecting RPG that wants like consequence needs to live away from the user data where they look at that and it's like 2%. Who cares? No one's going to see that. I'm like,
I respect that.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, I think having that breadth of the spectrum of good and evil kind of rewards like the good side even more too, right? Where you're just like, oh, I really could have gone deep in this one, but it's like, no, I really want to be a hero of Albion or something like that. So I can see both sides. So we'll see. For me, morality system has never been like a really big thing. I don't fucking care. I just want to play.
My favorite game of all time is a morality system. So like KOTOR, Fable, anything that has light, dark side, and it's a meter.
You love that.
It doesn't really do anything for me.
I love that shit.
For me, as a person who is, like I said, the casual into the Fable franchise, it did appeal to me. I was just like, okay, that's kind of cool that those options are available, even if there's a small percentage of chance of player base seeing it. I know from a developer lift standpoint, that's a lot of work, but I appreciate it. I was just like, okay, they got that, and they get it. It causes that water cooler moment. But I get what you're saying, Jay. I understand both sides to it. I just like the fact that they committed. I was like, okay, you know what? Because a lot of core Fable fans, they were like, bro, if this ain't there, we're going to have problems. Yeah. And I felt like they hit most of the core tenets of what Fable is. And I was like, okay, now let's see if you could pull it off, and let's see if you get that main quest, stuff going like that. Because we still got some questions for sure.
Yeah, let me walk back what I said about the good and evil stuff. The appearance. I didn't like it in Fable 1.
Got it.
Specifically. Fable 2, they improved it. I don't like it when you're good, you just turn blonde, which is fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck is that, you know? Like, it's a little weird. We're not in Dragon Ball, so I don't really understand. But, you know, but I do love being evil because, you know, like your eyes become red, you get these crazy tattoos.
I'm telling you, there was smoking. This early 2000s era of morality meters that I don't think we talk enough about, because like KOTOR did the same thing. When you became evil, especially in KOTOR 2, like your whole character became like so fucked up looking. Like your skin was gray, you had veins on your face.
It's really cool for role
And then
playing.
because of the reputation system in KOTOR 2, all these characters next to you started to look different. It's like asking for the world, but imagine if like the living population did that.
Crazy. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, like some of the outfits, like dude, like I remember making my Fable 2 guy look like fucking Raziel from Soul Reaver, you know.
Shout out to Raziel.
And like that like does wonders for role playing, you know, especially when you just go into a town and just want to beat everyone up. Right. So it's like, so let me walk all the way back. Except for the blonde hair, the blonde hair part. I got you. The blonde hair part is weird, right? But other than that, though, the way Fable 2 and Fable 3 did it was pretty damn cool. So I forgot about how cool the evil character looks. I wish they kept that. That sucks, actually. That actually does suck. I get it. Yeah.
It doesn't take the wind out of the sails completely, but it's definitely like, oh man, I get why they chose that. Like they described it in the article saying basically that like they didn't want it to be like you looked like this evil fucking demon and then you walked into a new town and
you're looking like a demon.
But that's part of the fun part of it, though, man.
I tried to justify. I was like, but that's kind of like you do. Like that's a consequence unto itself. You don't have to do anything at that point. You just walk in. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? Why does he look like that?
Yeah, look at this fucking insane motherfucker and why is he farting in everyone's faces? Right.
But then the counterpoint would be that the reputation, you would always remain evil despite any new town you go to, because they're going to have a preconceived notion of you. Like, look at this horn motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Coming through.
Yeah, it's too chaotic, is what I said. Like,
so I understand y'all, but y'all not wrong. I get it, because that's what made Fable. But I can understand from a developer standpoint that it's maybe how they want to advance it is like, damn, you're going to have this natural bias by every new town that you encounter, and maybe they try to avoid that. But I get it. It's a fun discussion. You know, again, I defer to you guys. You guys are the favorite.
It's the back and forth between like, if you want it to be truly open world and seamless, this is the price you pay. Like, when they were able to center around like, this is just Bowerstone. Only Bowerstone could your decision making was already going back and forth with them. So you could just come and go to the town. They'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? Right. But like, if you go to a new town that you haven't been to before and you're looking the way you are, I mean, I guess you could do in Fable 2. I don't know. I'm wrestling myself a little bit, but like, I get why it works in the tighter games compared to a big open world game. This game looks like you could pour dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of hours.
It might be a systems issue. You're right. You guys are right. Yeah.
Have they confirmed, Maddie, that there is no form of visual representation of morality in this at all?
Yeah. Do you want me to read the whole quote?
Yeah, if you can. Because I was trying to find that quote.
I
couldn't find it.
All right. So IGN said the developer direct piece talked about the more fluid good and evil system morality. Will you physically change appearance like you classically did in the original 3 based on how you behave? And Ralph Fulton said, that sort of character morphing feature, obviously a really central part of the original games. It's not in ours, and I'll tell you why. There's probably a couple of reasons. One, I guess, it's about that high level principle I was talking about, that there is no objective good and evil. And the original games were predicated on there being an objective good and evil, and you were somewhere along that scale. And that's what determined how your appearance changed. He continues on saying, but for us, that doesn't really work. The way I've described our morality system working, you're never that thing, absolutely. You're different things to different people based on what they like or what they choose to value. So that's one reason it didn't work. There's another reason, which is in our game, you build a reputation based on the settlement, the town, the city that you're in, the part of the world that you're in. But when you go to a new place, a place that you've never been to before, you walk in without any reputation, and thus nobody knows what to think of you. And you can almost, through your behavior, through your choices, form completely different reputations, a completely different identity, if you like, in that place from the place that you were last time. And you can do that from all the locations across all the locations in the game.
Mhm.
Now, you couldn't do that if you walked in with horns and a trident. Your reputation would precede you in that instance.
Yeah.
And honestly, that ability to be completely in control of your identity and thus what people think of you felt more important to us than the legacy feature. So it worked great in those games. It didn't seem to fit in ours, so we don't have it.
Okay, I get it now.
So you get the rationale, right?
I get the rationale. I understand the disappointment. I get the rationale. I almost look at it as each town almost represents like a faction that you could eventually influence.
I thought of it like New Vegas a little
bit. That's how I look at it, like New Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm curious to see like what does the living population do? If they just kind of curse at you and there's no like you're out in the world and they try to attack you or there's no like actual pushback, they just kind of let you do your thing. I don't know how I'd feel about that because then it's, again, it can go all the way up to New Vegas. It can go all the way down to Star Wars Outlaws. Like the range for this thing's potential is crazy. So it's exciting. It's
if
just
all they
like,
do is curse at you, I'll still be happy about it. if they're like, oh, boo, boo, whatever, and then that's it, I will still be happy. I'm like, that's Fable. That's still Fable.
Gene, I got to ask you the $1 million question. How many wifeys we doing in the town? How we doing this? Romance Bros, we up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what we doing?
This is a game that does romance well.
Okay.
Yeah, Cog, it got me, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to plant my seed and spread the word. What we doing? Like, how we doing it, G? How, you gonna have a little joint up in every little section every time?
Yeah. The thing I like about Fable romance is that it doesn't try to like be an actual romance. They're not like, we're not trying to get to know each other or like talk about each other's feelings or that.
It's not like BioWare progression over a whole game.
Me. That's
you love me.
It needs to be transactional.
You gonna buy a Birkin? You gonna get her a Birkin?
Yeah. I'm just buying her, a Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and then all of a sudden she's my wife, and then all of a sudden, remember in Fable 2, you would just have like a black kid all of a sudden like, with your white wife. That was crazy, bro.
Somebody was doing something between the time.
It's fucking me, myself, and Irene time right there. Remember that movie? Jim Carrey with 3 black sons. I love that movie. That was so funny.
That was hilarious, bro.
Me, myself, Irene, and Fable, man. That's what I need, man.
That's what we need, man.
Please give me a black child.
You know what I'm hoping they do to you romance bros out there?
Talk to me.
I'm hoping they bring back STDs.
Yo, they gotta have STDs. They gotta bring the STDs back. I need that. So like, damn, they burnt me, man.
I need people like Cog who like to throw it around, lay it down, put backs on mattresses. I need this dude to pay a price. Like, they have condoms in Fable 2, bro. I want this game to be like, you should have wrapped it up, bro. If they're going to commit to the realism of like, every human's different, bro. Some people just got to like, you should have wrapped up, bro.
I can't be throwing my meat on the table like that.
You can't. Yeah, unless you want to have kids, right? That's the other thing, bro. How do the kids respond to you if you just neglect them?
That's what I want to know. See, this is why it's game. The ambition of this game.
It's very Fire Emblem. Like that's what I love. Remember I talked to you about Fire Emblem? I loved how you like could ship people because it was hilarious. Like just watching families be made and neglect occur, and you're just like, damn, this is fucking crazy. I hope that these little settlements have that.
Yes.
It sounded like they kind of hinted toward you could marry other characters. So I do wonder what that would lead to.
Well, you can even like marry main characters. Like I remember you can marry Elvira Gray of the Gray Mansion in Fable 2. Like she was just the main character in the main quest, and you could just swoon her and marry her, and then that's your house. The Gray Mansion.
That's fire.
That's your house.
Yeah.
Fable was so good, dude. I'm about to install Fable right now on the Xbox. Play that.
Let me ask you this, Gene. As far as how we feel, ooh, that boy ready. That boy ready.
Right here, baby.
Dude, I had the Fable 3 like collector's edition with the journal and like the big ass box and everything like that. That shit was so sick.
I love
dude,
this
I was so fucking excited for Fable 3, dude. It was like my Halo 3.
How we feel about the real estate? How we feel about real estate systems?
Yes, real estate. Yeah,
dude.
I love.
They said every business, every house you could buy, and I love that shit because like that was the goal, bro. I just want to run shit. Like I want to be a tycoon. I want to ruin lives. Dude. The thing that Fable was great about is like so many games are so story centric in being when you're evil, you're like, oh, but I'm gonna miss like this character here and this character, and maybe you'll have that here. But I love being evil in Fable because you just. Such an asshole. And you're like, yeah, your taxes are going up. What? Your taxes are going up. I want money. I want to buy that sword over there, and I need money.
Dude, I logged into Fable 3 because Fable 3 is like all about the landlord system, right? It's all about the real estate to get all that money. But like the game was still calculating my money when I've been offline for like fucking like 15 years.
Didn't it run while you? Yeah,
it just runs. So when you log back to your old Fable 3 save, for the old heads out there, try that. You get so much money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's no point in any of that money. It's great.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. And I love, like I said, there's a shot going on online where, you are rich and you've been buying up real estate and then you run into an NPC and it shows your reputation, how they perceive you. And it was like, oh, you rich. She was like, yeah, whatever, you're rich. And then it says like something like rich twat. I was like, yo, that's a British joint right there. That's British right there.
Yeah, no, it's got all the pieces. It's got all the pieces for sure. So I'm very excited to see what comes of like those little questions and concerns and sort of how they iron them out. But honestly, it's just awesome to see people excited, like sincerely. That it was one of those games where I just didn't know how people were going to react. Like it felt people were trying to tee it up like this shit's going to be ass. This is the next Dragon Age or something like that. And I'm like, because of a character creator.
Dragon
and I'm like,
Age Veilguard, yeah. Like I know what you're talking about, the art style. Like Dragon Age Veilguard, like try to do it like, like realistic, but not like also caricature like, and it didn't really work. It looks kind of weird, It kind of reminded me of Fable, but it wasn't quite there. Yeah. Hopefully this isn't a Veilguard, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it at all. So
yeah. Sorry, I have people DMing me about about Fable, and they're just like, yeah, I don't think it's happening in this year. Like they're they just sent me like GTA 6 gifts.
Yeah. Listen, man, you got to talk about the elephant in the room, right? I think it's a play to say, hey, Autumn, see what happens, right? And then kind of take it from there. If you're ready to go, you're ready to go. But if you're not, my thing is, I would hate for this game to be in proximity next to GTA and be usurped. Like, this game, for as long as people have waited, it deserves its own time away from any type of thing that could take away from it in the zeitgeist. That's just me selfishly wanting them to win, because it's super ambitious. And then, like I said, I know G-Man would be
selfishly. I want the game now. Fuck PlayStation. Fuck GTA.
I agree. Fuck GTA. I think there's so many games that we've like been waiting for. Because like GTA, it might come out. I think at 007. I feel like 007 we could have got sooner.
Dude.
Admittedly, when I see its PC specs, I think it's time. But like they immediately moved. Once GTA was out of the spring window, they're like, we'll take that spot. And I'm like, guys, fuck this game, man. Like you guys are going to be dodging this thing forever, man. Just like drop your shit when it's ready. Please.
All right. Y'all gangster. Y'all tough.
I wouldn't do my own game, but fuck it. You guys got...
Hey, I'm the guy who said Phil Spencer and Satya should have just kept Call of Duty with console exclusive, not even release it on PlayStation.
Y'all tough with it. Y'all gangster with it. I respect it. Let's see what happens, man. It's gonna be a fun year. Going down with the shit, baby.
But it's too late though. We're in the new future. This is the future now.
It's the future. Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, anything else on the developer director? Shall we wrap it there and talk a little bit about the other gaming news this week?
Yeah.
Nothing? Nothing? We're good? All right.
I'm good.
Cool. All right, let's move on then. Ubisoft underwent a pretty massive shakeup this week. Good. Man, I mean, 6 canceled games, 7 delayed. One of the canceled games being Sands of Time Remake. One of the delayed games being Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake, which we learned through Tom Henderson was actually supposed to come out digitally only in March. It was supposed to go gold next month, and they delayed it a full year now. Somehow Beyond Good and Evil 2 has survived all of this. It is still in active development. They're still hiring for it. And what is the result of all of this, beyond all the games shut down and delayed, are 5 new creative houses that have been made, dedicated to everything from a co-op and competitive shooter to them trying to recapture the living room with their family games like Just Dance. They have a creative house for single player titles like Rayman. Funny enough, on the list they gave us, Prince of Persia was mentioned. And what you've got here is a completely different Ubisoft that you got to wonder what survives in this shakeup as well, because it's clear they're looking at like what's open world and what's going to make them money, because they said their 2 focuses with this shakeup were open world action adventure games and games as a service native experiences. So I think the reason that Sands of Time Remake got canceled was just because like doesn't fit the mold. It's like, this isn't going to do a lot for us. And I think Prince of Persia has continuously got the crap kicked out of it for bad reasons. Like the Metroidvania did well, million copies sold, way more than I personally expected. I don't know what their internal expectations were, but it did well. And they didn't greenlight anything else for it because it just wasn't enough. They want mega hits. And I think that's why they're going in on Assassin's Creed, because even when Assassin's Creed was getting badgered online, it still did pretty well, all things considered. So, Gene, I saw you shake your head. I want to start off with you and sort of how you're feeling about this Ubisoft shakeup. Where does your head go to first?
My head goes to how hard is it to just remake this game, guys? I think I saw a Reddit from a developer who was like, yeah, we had like all these like different like, ideas and where to go or like what to make the game. And it's like, why do you have so many fucking ideas for this game? Just make it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. What makes me so mad, and GOG actually tweeted that they're actually going to be working on preserving the game for PC. So shout out to GOG, the original game. What really pisses me off is that the original Sands of Time is just not available to play on modern platforms. I don't think it's on PC, right? Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Sands of Time, is it on Steam? I guess it is on Steam. I wonder how it plays. I think I'll check it out, I guess.
I replayed Sands of Time ahead of, what's it called? What I thought was going to be this remake. I played it at the end of last year. And I was so ready to go in on this remake. I'm like, damn, I wasted that whole replay, like thinking like Prince of Persia is going to be back and like it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to have like the old one in mind with the new one. I just, the reason why I think this just doesn't fit the mold is what's crazy to me is this game was reportedly getting shadow dropped this month. Like last month before the Game Awards, the rumor was like, yeah, it's coming out mid-January, right? And we get here, it doesn't come out around January 16th like it was rumored to. And then to follow that up, it gets canceled. Like, what the fuck happened? Like, it's a complete mess over there, dude. I just look at what Ubisoft's kind of become, and it's such a shame because I go back to like the early 2010s, and I'm like, they were so like anything they made, I was like, oh, I'm interested.
Yeah.
But now
they were experimental. They were adventurous. They had a lot of great IP, technically advanced, great stories. Very diverse set of games. They were a mega publisher. They were up there with Capcom, baby. They were incredible. And Prince of Persia: Sands of Time was one of them. And I think people underestimate how advanced Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is. Outside of Eco, Prince of Persia is like one of the most influential games, like in the 3D space. And to be fair, Prince of Persia did copy Eco. Eco is the game that influenced everything from Last of Us to Uncharted to God of War. All your Sony favorite hits are all rooted in Eco. But Prince of Persia was a game that came afterwards, and it leveled up Eco in terms of like acrobatics, combat. Multi-directional combat. It had a parry system when parries weren't like a thing. This was like Arkham Asylum combat before it ever became a thing. You can flip off the walls and do a backstab like an enemy like after flipping off the wall. That's crazy. And it had these amazing platforming puzzles that really define what 3D platforming that could look like in the modern age.
Yeah.
So it's just a shame that and it was also the game that was personally worked on by Prince of Persia creator Jordan Mechner, who is the guy who made the very first game I ever played, which is Karateka, and then he made Prince of Persia, which I played of course afterwards. So Prince of Persia is something that it just really just means a lot to me. And O'Colin just texted me.
Yeah. Oh, the homie.
Scheduling stuff. But Prince of Persia is just one of those fundamental games that I wish would get treated with respect. And I guess maybe that's why the team just hemmed and hawed over this classic, and they just couldn't land a plane. But it's like, dude, at least just re-release the game to a decent way. Recent listeners know that I've been toying with emulators recently, and it's been great, but unfortunately, the original Xbox, the first Xbox emulator, isn't quite up to snuff. And the first game I wanted to try on on the emulator was Prince of Persia, because I played the hell out of the game on the Xbox. It was an Xbox game for me. I played most Ubisoft games on Xbox, really. I felt like Ubisoft was more of the Xbox platform. Splinter Cell was fucking console exclusive back then.
At one point,
right?
Remember those days?
Yeah, back in those days. Remember the good old days?
The good old days. Only on Xbox.
We were wearing British Knights and
yeah, Triple Fat Goose.
Yeah, we had BK British Knights. We had Beyond Good and Evil 1. Stuff.
Oh, good time.
But but I played on the Xbox emulator. It runs okay, but man, like some of the textures, like the water is all fucked up. It does not render water at all. So the Xbox original emulator is still getting some tweaks in, and it's not the ideal way to play the original Xbox games. So yeah, it's real sad. The original trilogy was a banger. Warrior Within, like edgelord, mega edgelord cringe. I get it, right? He just says "fuck you, bitch" in like the first 5 minutes. Super cringy. Awesome game though. Awesome game, awesome combat, awesome platforming, and the game story just got better towards the end. It was like less cringy, and it was actually interesting. And then Two Thrones, which was like
Two Thrones had the most fucking raw stealth takedown. I bought that shit on Wii because if you like swung the nunchuck, he would like grab the person from behind, and then the stealth takedown, you had to like zip your Wiimote downward because he would take his knife and like stab them right in the chest. And I remember as a kid thinking that was the coolest shit of all time, bro. I loved stealth in that game. It was amazing. So yeah, I always say Prince of Persia walked so Assassin's Creed could run. And when you play Sands of Time, you see all of the DNA of what made that series special born right there. Like you see the wall running. I mean, there was even tech features in that game that I forgot about. Like when you're wall running on the PS2 version, the cloth has physics, and like it literally, like when you run along it like drapes over his body and falls to the side.
So cool.
It's amazing. And I just
slide down like with your knife.
Yes, that too. Yeah. I just wonder what baffled this team so much. I don't think development's easy. I don't think remaking a classic game's easy. I imagine the level design was pretty tough because there are parts of the palace that are just like natural looking, and it's like, oh, people live here. And then like the hallway leading to it is littered with traps and rotating blades and pits that are a mile wide. You're like, what normal human crossed all this? It's a very video game ass environment. It's not committed to realism because it's too small. So I get why there were some hiccups, but when they threw two teams at this project and just couldn't figure it out, I'm so confused what was hard about something that had a blueprint that already exists. They had to be completely reinventing it. I'm just, again, so surprised it never made it out though. Like this is a game that we just saw like presentations from Ubisoft leak recently, and we saw like gameplay, we saw the characters. I don't know, dude. Like it's so strange to me that this is one that got canceled. But I think more surprising really could be that Assassin's Creed Black Flag delay. Again, we're talking about a game that was supposed to come out this, I think Tom Anderson said March 17th, March 19th, and it got pushed back a full fucking year. But they said it's about to go gold next month. So they're doing the same thing they did last year. At the top of last year, they were like, Prince of Persia will be out by April 2026. We're delaying these things as a commitment to quality. And they're doing it again. They've delayed shit really far out, and they're like, this is a commitment to quality. And we'll see. And I'm like, how is the game about to launch? And now it's a year out. So to me, I'm like, something went horribly wrong. Just like, it makes me sad because, again, this studio had aura. When you play old Sands of Time, when you play even the games they published, like Batman Vengeance, like they just had a finger on the pulse. When you play the old Assassin's Creed games, I didn't appreciate those enough. But like when you play those, you're like, damn, they just had. It's the reason we love them.
Hell yeah.
The other game I think of a lot is Valiant Hearts. I love that game.
Oh, I liked Valiant Hearts.
How light.
That was a good game.
That one's amazing. They've had these eras where they're just so creative and interesting. And then they've just been like, I always say, like, it's funny how parallel them and Bethesda are. Bethesda had Skyrim, this unprecedented success, and they just responded to it in all the worst ways as time went on. Ubisoft had Far Cry 3. And for some reason, that just told their whole company, everything must be built like this. Like we've spent so long creating and reinventing open worlds, and we got to this point, and it's like, we figured it out. This is the template.
Mhm.
And we're going to keep doing this over and 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 over.
Mhm.
And I just don't get why they got into that rut in 2012. And they're like, we're never digging out of this hole. We're going to keep going until we hit the bottom. Open worlds can only be designed like this, one way. And I don't know what else you would do, but I think Elden Ring was a good idea of like just removing all the tools, you know, and figuring it out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just letting your eyes take you on that journey. But I'm rambling now. Sad time for Ubisoft. Really, really bummed to see what kind of company they are nowadays.
I know.
Gene, I know you in particular wanted to go over this one. We talked about it a bit in DMs. I have not seen episode 6 yet, but let's talk about the Fallout TV show so far.
Oh, yes.
You and I have vented to one another. We both go on Twitter. We see gatekeepers, elitists, fanboys, aplenty.
Lorgoons? What's going on?
Lorgoons, yeah. Like, we just see him going ham.
Lorgoons, yes.
And then Gene and I retreat to our DMs and we're like, holy fuck, dude. Like, it's so exhausting out there, man, right? So, Gene, how are we feeling so far? Season 2, Fallout is underway.
We're not getting into spoilers, right, for the season?
No, I would say let's not, just because because some people are waiting for the whole season to be out.
Sure, yeah. And I did see episode 6 as well. I will say, and I've seen some people talk about this, and I've been talking about this too. Episode 6 kind of underscores that this fucking show needs more episodes. There's just way too many storylines going on, and there's just way too much happening that every scene feels very rushed. And like, I know Maddie like agreed with me on this, and I'm sure he'll expand on this, but it's like, you know, like Maximus is a fun actor. You know, I love his performance. There's a scene like in episode 3 or 4 where he shows a lot of emotion and confusion and hurt, and it just comes out of nowhere. It's like, yo, this is interesting. Like he has to make a hard choice, and you see that struggle on his face. He's such a talented actor. What's his name again, Maddie?
Aaron Moten.
Aaron Moten, yeah. He's so talented in this role, and the character is so mixed up in all this crazy business. And you kind of wish that it would play out a little bit more, you know, like that he's with the Brotherhood of Steel, and, you know, like a storyline ends in the Brotherhood of Steel, and it's like you could have just kept that storyline going a little bit more. You could have cooked it a little bit more. There's Lucy and the Ghoul heading over to Vegas, and like it's cool, and you know, like the little details are great. You know, that you do see the Legion, and I've seen people complain about how the Legion is depicted like, oh, they look like buffoons. Guys, they were only cool to you because you play Fallout New Vegas when you were like 15 or 16. They were awesome. When you grow up and when you can become a man, and then when you play the Legion, you see that these guys are kind of crazy. They're intimidating. They're violent. They're strong. They're powerful, but they're also crazy too. And to be fair, the show does kind of show more of the crazy side really than anything else. But again, that's because the show is too fucking short. You know, that there's no chance to portray the Legion in any other way other than like a caricature of something. Like, and episode 6, like, you know, I won't talk about it because I kind of didn't like the episode actually, because it was just like there's just like I don't really care about where the story is going now. Actually, you know, I don't. I'm not really that interested in, you know, Lucy and her dad working things out. I'm not, you know, the Norm story. Norm was my favorite character in season 1. I loved him. I loved the fact that Norm was like playing the role of like the vault explorer, you know, because like each of the characters are a different Fallout character. Lucy is your main protagonist. The Ghoul is the Chaos Agent. Maximus is the Brotherhood Steel line, the Brotherhood of Steel line, and then Norm is the essential. You have to explore the vaults. You have to solve the mystery of the vaults, and that's what I was so fascinated with Norm. Now that we're further into the story with Norm, I'm like, I don't know if the mystery is all that interesting anymore. I think some of the vaults stories in the games are like, even in New Vegas and 3, or even 4. Actually, 4 had some kind of like okay vaults, but then not too many. But like 3 in New Vegas had some amazing vaults, and they told some awesome stories. And I feel like they're more interesting than what we're kind of getting in the show a little bit. The thing that drives me with the show is Cooper Howard. Walton Goggins, everything to do with his flashbacks is compelling. The music that's involved with him, like there was another choice that he made that he was kind of mulling over in episode 3 or 4, and like I was like, where does this music come from? Why is the music so good all of a sudden? This is interesting, and it's moving me. It's actually like pulling me into the Ghouls conflict further. I was a little disappointed with Lucy still being like really golly G type of character at the beginning. Like I figured that she might
feel like she reset after the way season 1 ended.
Right,
I was like, why is she still like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, you ended with okie dokie, and it's like, what happened to that transformation? Like, why'd you go back?
There was a whole arc. There was a great arc in season 1. Season 1 was fantastic, right? And I'm not saying season 2 is bad. The jury's still out. We'll see, right? But it felt like that. It kind of reset it, and then they started to fuck with her character a little bit more towards the middle of the season. I was like, okay, this is fun. I'm vibing with this, and let's.
She's like a wrestler you're waiting to have a heel turn with.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of waiting for that character change again, and it does happen. It's like, okay, this is fun. It's interesting. I like it. I've been digging on the show a lot right now, and we'll get more into specifics. I'll get into positives. I love the set design. I think it's beautiful. The fact that like some of the creatures are just practical effects. Yeah, it's fucking dudes in suits. That's sick. That's amazing that Amazon, my boss Jeff Bezos allowed that. That's crazy. Cool.
Love him.
Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to the boss man for doing that. Thank you for funding that. The new Vegas as a set looks amazing. It looks cheap. It looks like a set, but I love that. I love that it looks like an actual place that you can go to. It kind of looks like a theme park a little bit, but it's cool. I really do feel like the Ghoul and Lucy are just hanging out there. But it's just moving way too fast. And it reminds me of the complaints that myself and a lot of people had with The Last of Us, where it's like The Last of Us is also just moving way too fast. You're missing all those moments of Joel and Ellie just hanging out and getting to know each other, joking and everything like that. It's like, no, you gotta get to Henry, gotta get to Henry arc. Okay, now we're in Pittsburgh. We gotta do the Pittsburgh arc. And okay, now the episode's done. Now we gotta keep moving. So it's like
it's time to breathe.
Yeah, Fallout feels like kind of like, oh, here's the thing of the week, and then you do it, and it doesn't like, it was kind of cool, but it's kind of limiting, and I'm not sure how like it's kind of making the whole the larger story suffer. I did like the Legion episode, but like, how does that tie into the bigger picture? I'm not sure yet.
They felt like they had to check a box.
Yeah. Here's your Legion episode, right? And then let's move on. And I'm not sure where to go with that or whatever like that. There's a lot of guest characters, a lot of guest actors, which are kind of fun. So that keeps it like, it's a fun show. Like, and I still think that it's probably still the better video game adaptation over The Last of Us. Because Last of Us season 2 did a fucking number on the quality, the overall quality of that show. Let me tell you. And not to say that it was a complete dud, season 2 of Last of Us, but like it just moved so fast. There was just like so much shit going on. We just barely got a chance to spend time with Ellie in Seattle, and that's what this show is too. It's like we got to stop with the 8-episode structure. Not enough. If it had one more episode, even just one more hour to play with these characters, I think it would be a lot better.
Yeah, sure. Fair. I agree. Cog, I'm curious if you've watched any more episodes since.
No, I have not. I have not got a chance since recovering. But I've just been kind of paying attention to the banter, and it is.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah. So look, I can only defer to people who are super invested, and they do kind of agree with Gene, and the sentiment is that like, man, they're moving fast, and there's certain things that I don't say inconsistencies, but it's just like they do wish there were maybe more episodes that were happening, because there's just so many key storylines kind of going on at the same time, and they just wanted just a little bit more fleshed out. Not that it's bad. I spoke to a couple other people be like, oh, I'm enjoying it. I'm cool. That kind of thing. But I am seeing that discourse, and I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Episode 5 was easily one of the best of the series so far.
Great episode.
It was so good. It was the episode 4 and 5 are easily the best of the season so far, where you're like, okay, the vision's coming to form. It's no coincidence that this show is at its best when it's Lucy, the Ghoul, Cooper Howard, Robert House. Like, that's what this was created for.
Robert
like,
House is amazing. Robert House is excellent.
Justin Theroux is doing an amazing job.
Whose mom wrote for the Washington Post. Robert House's mom wrote for the Washington Post.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He actually worked for the same section. She actually worked for the same section I do, the feature section.
Nice. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Those parts of the show are incredible. Maximus's story is good. It's just, I basically look at this season as like, let it cook means something now, because when you let like the whole Mr. House thing play out and you're not screaming on Twitter, I think it's playing out in a really interesting way. But also let it cook means give it time to breathe, to build into something. And Maximus's story's biggest problem is that time constraint, right? I won't spoil what it's about, but the idea, you know what they're going for. And I think it's a great idea. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's in line with what this faction can turn into if it's not kept in check. But because they need to like show this descent like this, it just loses any narrative weight because it all happens too fast, and there has to be betrayal of like core principles and philosophies on this wide sweeping range across an entire faction. It's like, I can't buy into this on any level. And it's both for fans and non-fans is a problem. For non-fans, they're like, why is this a fucking problem? And for fans, it's like, why are you guys like, okay, we want to see this descent. Cool. Why are you rushing it? And I think the Cooper Howard storyline can keep up with that pace because there's so many things to pull at. There's so many pre-war mysteries, and then also what's happening in the current timeline, mysteries that are connected together in a really interesting way, and characters are existing in both these timelines, so it can keep up with the pace. There's enough little threads to pull at. But then you've got his storyline that just can't keep up. And I think the biggest mistake they made was taking him away from Lucy and the Ghoul, because they would all go out on their own journeys, but they'd be kind of walking in a line together, just in different areas. And so the first season managed to keep them more in unison, I felt. The second season feels a little more disjointed, like Gene put really well. It feels like a theme of the week kind of feel. So, like the Legion's a perfect example of like, they're kind of just there for an episode. And I thought they would be like major players, but it's kind of become cameo fodder. Like, someone does something really evil and you're like, if you're, again, for fans of the show, you look at it, you're like, that's not consistent with the faction. Why would they let this chick talk a fucking mile a minute and not cut her head off, but this one gets their head cut off? And then the dude removes his mask. Oh, it's Macaulay Culkin. Whoa, that guy killed someone. It's like, that's the impact it has. It's beyond the screen now. Kumail Nanjiani, right? Like, he just fucking like kind of goofball guy showing up as like a real serious character, a bigot almost, and sort of what comes of that. It's like, oh, that was short-lived. Like, I just think the season has problems with that too. Like, it became cameo fodder. Like, they wanted too much. They have the perfect cast. You have Walton Goggins at the peak of his career. Ella Purnell is a young, I wouldn't say budding actress. Like, she's really popular. She's known for good shit. People love her. And then you've got a newer face in Aaron Motan. Like, you've got the perfect blend. You don't need to go out and get these people to be celebrity cameos to squeeze into your weird little show for like one episode to represent a faction or a little piece of the world. So it does feel a little theme parkish. It does feel a little like touring from one spot to another. And New Vegas ends up feeling less like a meaningful location that they were going to for a deliberate reason. And it just feels like pit stops. Like, they're not using the location in interesting ways. They're just stopping at certain parts. Like, okay, like when you, the trip between the desert and to Freeside, you don't really see anything of intrigue outside of like the roller coaster near Prim. And that's the only thing I can think of, pardon me, that I'm like, oh yeah, like I saw that on their journey. There's no recapturing of the Fallout journey like season 1 did. Season 1, you saw all the different Fallout player archetypes, and like, thou shalt get distracted by constant bullshit in the wasteland or something like that. Like, the philosophy of Fallout was captured so well. But season 2, to go to New Vegas, where the most famous part of New Vegas is your trek to Good Springs. from Good Springs to Freeside and then getting into the Strip, all of those challenges were never rethought in interesting ways. So they didn't capture the essence. And so that's why it feels very pit stoppish. Like you see the Legion, it's like, I don't recognize this fucking camp, dude. Like I don't, this isn't like the fort from the original game. Like what is this? And so I think that's one of the reasons it falls short for a lot of people too. I don't think all the crying and complaints are very valid. I think some people are very, very gung-ho.
They're complaining about like the building locations in New Vegas and everything like that. It's like, guys,
like there's certain things like, how could you do this when it's not in proximity to the boneyard? They're retconning again. I'm like, guys, I don't think it'll ever be 1-to-1 on that level. I just, not because they don't care, but I just don't think it's too, like, now you're trying to ask them to match your specific brain canon versus like one map that's got an isometric RPG on it versus another map that's a first person open world RPG, and how big those maps are in conjunction with the entire world. I'm like, I don't think we need to go there. But I get if people look at like things that certain factions or a certain faction is doing and they're like, they're changing how they behave and they're forcing it. I'm like, yeah, that I agree with. I won't say what because I don't want to create any expectations, but I think people acting like this is the worst shit of all time are crazy.
Yeah. The stupidest criticism is the people are like, oh, they fucking got rid of Freeside. Guess what happens in the next episode?
Let's go to Freeside.
Yeah. They're in Freeside.
You can feel like we're seeing a lot of tourist exposure is what I'm kind of describing. Like, there's a lot of people who love New Vegas and I think rightfully have their critiques. I think there's also a lot of New Vegas bandwagoners who haven't played the game since like 2011 and don't know what they like about it anymore. Exactly. They just know, I like the Strip. I like Mr. House. Like, that's all I fucking hear. Mr. House. I'm like, okay. That's like, I just very simple surface level compliments. Like, what do you understand about the game? What do you like about the game? That, like, I don't see that from a lot of the criticism online from the New Vegas purists.
I do like
that. They'll screenshot Mr. House and be like, they're fucking butchering him. I'm just like, oh my God. He crashed out. They're butchering him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't agree with that consensus. Like, I don't either. At least not yet.
I thought he was a perfect Mr. House, at least from what we've seen. The set looks amazing. The performance was perfect. Yeah.
So I don't know, bro.
I do think that like the game, the show does a good job in like presenting like interesting scenarios where the characters have to choose whether you do this or do that. One character is basically on a fuck everything run, basically, where it's like I'm just gonna kill. I'm just gonna have to kill to get through this adventure, basically, And when that character said that, I was like, oh yes, this is Fallout right here. This character is choosing the chaos run, so let's go. Let's see what happens. But then the story kind of ends, and it's like you're a TV show. You don't even have to worry about it being a video game. We're like, oh, how do we portray the change or whatever that? It's like you can do that with actors and story, but you ran out of time, and now we got to get to Lucy's fucking quest or Norm's. We got to check back in with Norm now. And and Barbara too. We gotta figure out what's going on with Barbara, and House is doing all this stuff too. So now we gotta find out what House is doing, and now we gotta flash back to Coop because this is
they need like 4 more episodes.
Yeah, it's like the most interesting thing in the story. So now we gotta do this, So it's like it is wild. Have you guys seen Pluribus yet in Apple TV?
Nah.
The new Vince Gilligan joint, Breaking Bad.
I've heard about it though. I heard a lot of people have a lot of
amazing show.
I see you constantly tweeting about the actress.
Oh, of course, I love her. Ray Seahorn, absolutely in love with her. 53-year-old woman, my bag, right? But
that's right in the pocket, right too.
She's 53. Wow, she looks great. That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, she looks amazing for 53, right?
Yeah, incredible. Like I know it's not that old, but I'm saying like 53. I thought she was in her 30s, bro.
For real, crazy. Dude. Yeah, she looks great. Wow. But no spoilers on what the show is. The show is like you gotta it's like the Matrix. It's best if you just like figure out on your own while watching what Pluribus means, right? But it's a show that is laser focused on like one character, which is her, right? So, and it's only 8. It's only 9 episodes, I think, or 9 or 10. But because of that laser focus, like you really feel like you understand her story and her character and everything. That. So it is like a wild juxtaposition to jump from that right to Fallout, where it's like, okay, we got Norm and we got this, and by the way, Norm has all these other new characters.
He's got all these vault dwellers.
Yeah, all these vault dwellers. By the way, that Asian chick vault dweller. God damn.
yeah.
There's a shot where she's looking at like the
bridge.
Right
I saw that on Juicehead's profile, bro. The replies were so funny that he's like, "We've seen this bridge before." All the replies are like, "What bridge, dude?"
This year, fat ass there. It's like, God damn. So now I have to pay attention to her now.
I gotta see what's going on.
It's a break. If Fallout feels like a TikTok compared to like a slow burn like Pluribus, or even like Better Call Saul, which I've been watching too, right? Better Call Saul is very slow. It's focusing on a couple of characters, and but Better Call Saul has like a bunch of characters, but the way Better Call Saul is like finishing. Have you guys seen Better Call Saul at all?
I've seen a little bit.
Yeah, no, I've only seen Breaking Bad.
But like Breaking Bad even too, like the way like it would like break up the stories, like it would end like one character stories in a satisfying way. So like you get a little episode, it's like, okay, good, we resolved this with the character. I can't wait to see what happens. Okay, now we're gonna move on to another character and we're gonna keep the story moving, right? Fallout kind of doesn't do that, where it's like, okay, we ended with this character and like nothing happens, and then now we're over at Norm and then nothing really happens, and then now we're over at Lucy and then nothing really happens. So like that is kind of frustrating. Again, we need more time, and there's way too many, like, I think IGN called it, there's way too many spinning plates, and it's like, yeah, they're right actually on this one. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot going on. There's just way too much going on, and the show and these characters deserve more. So,
yeah. And I'm wondering, budget wise, is it a situation that just because it's 8 that they're forced to pack so much in? You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious. Yeah. What if that has?
I think I did see that season 3 was gonna be what's gonna be 10 episodes.
Okay.
Maybe. So I think they're season 3 Fallout. How many episodes? Doesn't really say. Well, Google AI is telling me it's anticipated to be the same, so we'll see. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm not really interested in how some of these stories are going to pan out. I kind of don't care about it anymore, a little bit. I'm interested to see how House folds in with Coop. That's the thing.
Yeah, it feels like sometimes the show is running away from its most interesting elements.
Yeah,
and trying to force these things that they set up in season 1 to kind of find a resolution in season 2, but it was part of my concern was the episode constraint, and then the time they spent writing these episodes. I was like, this show did it insanely well. Everyone made a lot of money. You didn't need a little extra time, or you couldn't have swung like, hey, Amazon, I got a great idea. We're going to do this release weekly, but it's going to be for 10 episodes instead. So people will be on the hook even longer for your subscription service.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's easy for me to say as you're speaking to fucking Amazon. But my point being is I feel like I wonder if there was that push internally to be like, we need more episodes, or if they thought this is the plan, 8, no matter what, like we can do it in 8. It's a perfect number for us. But because it worked for season 1. But I think part of it was because season 1 had unresolved threads, and season 2 has to pick those up. And then, like we were talking about, when Lucy has that little reset and she's like, hey, how's it going? Like, and she's sniping people from Novak. I'm like, why are you not like a little more cold-hearted given how season 1 concluded for you?
Again, why are you still Millennial Chungus? In episode 1, it's exhausting. And also Lucy and Ghoul, they don't get along. They're so different. It's like, okay, we already went through that dynamic in season 1.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen in season 2? They do start to change it, but it's like you only have 8 episodes.
Yeah, that part.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's tough. It's a good show. But
it is. There's just a lot of like, you could see the improvements. They're so obvious.
Yeah, it started out good, and I was super excited. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I love it. But now that we're like six episodes in, I'm like, yeah, you're starting to lose me a little bit. Actually, starting to lose me a little bit.
Sure.
And I was a fan, but like this last episode, I didn't like.
You didn't like this last one.
I don't like this.
Which was episode
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not good to hear, because like 4 and 5 felt like, okay, we're building towards something. So that 6 falls off is a shame, because it's like this should be all mounting up to like a great finale.
it actually like killed my hype for it. Actually, episode 6, I was like, wow, I actually don't care about how all these stories happen. Actually, now,
wow,
wow, damn, bro.
Yeah, it sucks. I gotta get this now. It's a quick turnaround, man. Because episode 5 did end really
episode 5 like was like the best. That's crazy.
But then after episode 6, I was like, wow, I like they fumbled it in one episode for me. Crazy.
You know, it was a very telling opinion to me is I mean, granted, I was just on Twitter, but I saw TK Mantis, who is like a huge Fallout fan, covers like all the Fallout games, does like Fallout fun fact videos, like huge Fallout guy, was like, yeah, episode 5 was one of the best in the series. Episode 6 was like one of the worst in the series. Yeah. Like, when I saw that, I went, really? He thinks that way too? Like,
okay, good. I haven't seen any reaction to episode 6, but because I just watched it like late last night, and when I finished it, I was like, wow, that was the worst episode. For sure. Like I disliked that episode. I didn't like it. Like nothing about it was kind of good for me, actually.
I think my worst episode, I have notes on each episode. Episode 2 is the worst. Oh God. The whole frat culture thing, bro. Fuck that episode.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Like episode 1 was great, picking up right where we left off. Lucy Ghoul, love that. But episode 2, I was like, dude, this shit.
Oh, the golden rule.
Yeah. Episode 3 was all right. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride here.
Oh, but, the Brotherhood. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, Dane's a cool character, but like, doesn't have a lot to do, actually.
Yeah.
Like Dane is an interesting character to play off of Maximus, but Maximus barely has stuff to do. So what the fuck is Maximus' side characters going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Not much, because the main character is not doing much. I do love Thaddeus. Thaddeus is awesome.
Hilarious. He's great.
Like, he's still good, and he's still good at episode 6. He's probably the best thing at episode 6, actually.
Oh man, that's okay. You're selling me really low now. I'm a little scared.
I'm scared he gets to boot that.
Because the thing is that I didn't see episode 4 and 5, and Gene tells me, he's like, dude, they're amazing. Like, I loved it. Like, we're sitting here, we're fucking beating up people on Twitter. We're like, fuck this dude, fuck that dude. Yeah. Like, yeah, this shit's great. I watched these episodes. I'm like, yo, Gene, you were right. This shit kicked ass.
I was telling
him saying now he's like, yeah, this shit killed my interest. I'm like, oh no. Like, now I know what I'm in store for.
It's crazy. Yeah, like, dude, like I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, so when I saw Thaddeus, I was like, oh, thank God, he's around. Like, livening up the party a little bit, Gene,
I know you said you had a hard out at 6:30. Do you want to hang around for what we're playing, or what do you want to do?
Maybe I can just do what we're playing. I can. Well, actually,
I mean, that'll be the end of our show.
I should probably head out. Yeah. So.
Okay, all right, cool.
Do what you got to do, brother.
Yeah. All right, Gene, wrap it up. Say goodbye to the audience.
All right. Well,
you on out of here.
Yeah, I haven't really been playing much, anyways. I've just really been, playing a game for review. Played a lot of Starfield, but I've been talking about a lot of Starfield on Punching Up.
Interesting.
Maybe
what brought that on?
Oh, well, part of Cog, I didn't tell you. Okay, maybe I can talk a little bit about Starfield here. But the reason why I play Starfield now is because last time I played Starfield was in fall 2023. That was when I had my other tumor. I was playing through a review process, and I love Starfield. I love Starfield. For me, I always wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid. Astronaut was definitely like my dream job. As I grew up, I was like, "Fuck that! I'm never going to be an astronaut."
I'm gonna be a journalist.
Yeah, like I do not want to be an astronaut. But the fantasy of being an astronaut is still there. And I feel like Starfield is was helping me fulfill that fantasy. Yeah, the flying and isn't that great or whatever like that. But I feel like people misunderstand Starfield as Starfield is a AAA cozy game.
Cozy.
It is AAA Stardew Valley. That's what it is. When I go into Starfield, I set up my outposts, and a lot of people don't engage with the outposts because the outposts don't really have anything to do with anything. Like, they're kind of useless. I understand this. There's no point in doing it. But my fucking houses look amazing, though. And to be able to assign like your crew to there, and but also this time with Starfield, I actually dove into the creation club stuff. A lot of cool free mods. The paid mod stuff is actually kind of a controversial thing right now. There's a lot of paid mods that are kind of garbage, actually. So
a lot,
and I bought one, for $5, and I was like, I'm sorry, this is not worth $5. I totally got ripped off here. So. And it's only $5, whatever, right? But it's like, that was not worth $5 even. That should have been free. a lot of these mods should be free. So that's kind of a mess. But the good stuff there is really great. There is one mod that's completely free called Horizon, that gives you a remote control space station. It gives you a remote control in your inventory, and then wherever planet you fly to, you can just hit that remote, and the space station will warp in with you.
Oh wow!
And you have a floating space station that goes everywhere with you. It's got the original concept art of the what is the hub of the Constellation, right? The library looking.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Lodge. What is
the Lodge. Yes, the Lodge.
Lodge. Good call.
Yes. But it has the original concept art version of the Lodge. The Lodge was supposed to be a fucking space station. So they actually took that concept art and built it out inside the space station with a fireplace, and there's a sunroof where you can see the space and everything like that. But the cool thing, and it's got all these features. It's got like bedding and like a workout room and an armory, like 2 floors and everything like that. And if you pair that with another mod, which is a mod that allows you to assign your characters, like your companions, to do anything, I just assigned like all 20 companions into the space station. So I have this space station bustling with activity with my favorite characters. Andreja is there, and Barrett's there. So and so is Mateo, not Mateo, but like Barrett's over at the weed station because it comes with a whole weed room, right? And the cool thing about this is if you go into the Lodge version of the space station, there's a button that can teleport to any random system everywhere. So it's perfect for like role playing. If you just want to like just go on an adventure and role play and everything like that. So it's like there's so much stuff going on in the Creation Club. People were writing articles about how Starfield modders are abandoning Starfield, and that shit was clickbait, man. That shit was not real. There was one modder that said he didn't want to work on Starfield. And journalists took that off Reddit.
When they said everybody.
Modders are abandoning Starfield. Starfield is the 11th most downloaded game on Nexus Mods, which is huge. It's lesser than Skyrim, lesser than Fallout, right? But Skyrim and Fallout are massive. Yes, it's not. But Starfield is not as big as those games, but it's still bigger than every other game, but 10 games on Nexus Mods. People are modding the game. People are enjoying the mods in the game. And people are playing it. So I'm really looking forward to Starfield 2.0 whenever that happens.
Yes.
People thought that I played it because I was excited for it.
Everybody's like, who got a chance? People hit me up like, Cog, I know you. I'm like, I ain't played it.
I didn't play it. I've just been playing Starfield and really enjoying it,
Nice.
The way Bethesda's handling 2.0 is weird. Like I saw it behind closed doors. They're like, you can't talk about it. Like, you can say you saw it. I'm like, okay. And they didn't give us like a release window or anything. So I have no idea.
But you saw it?
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
You saw it?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I gotta get some emails going. But yeah. But for sure.
This is a few months ago, though.
So I've been playing Starfield on and off. I haven't played it in the last few weeks, but I played a bunch of it during the fall and during Christmas time and New Year's. So,
It's funny you say that because you had your medical experience back then, and I did mine, and that's when I had my ally. I had the ally? Is it ally at that time? And I played Starfield in the hospital because that's when I had the diverticulitis, I had the COVID, all that.
You said you had to like live to see Todd Howard's next game.
Bro, I had that Starfield with me. That helped me during the joy. And base, I'm with you, man. And
it runs good on the LAX too.
Oh, it runs fantastic. Yeah. And the thing I remember, that's when I learned how to do the ship customization. I was like, oh, this is how you do it. It's like moving the little blocks around and you got the little engineering state. And I was like, okay, I actually like that. I was like, that one. Now, I don't do the settlement stuff. That's Eugene. But the ship stuff, I was like, okay.
Also my obsession. I got obsessed with that. I have 10 ships all custom made. I made a Star Fox R-Wing, guys. It is awesome.
Did you make like the Normandy also?
I made the Normandy I made like 3 years ago, like way back then. I had the Normandy, but now I have the Millennium Falcon. I have the Star Fox R-Wing. I have a NASA space shuttle. And he uses those 3x3 halves, the big ones with the mess holes and everything like that. So it just really looks like a real living space. It's so cool, man. Yeah.
The only thing they got to do is with the hubs, I wish they give you a description of what is actually in some of those hubs. Because a lot of times it's trial and error. And I'm like, okay.
It's fucked up. And then,
I'm like, bro.
They just put like doors and ladders wherever.
Yeah, randomly.
You're fucking up the feng shui of this. It's crazy. So that's why there are mods where you could actually like place ladders wherever they.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my interior decorate on, and I want things. Sometimes they got a ladder in a weird place in the middle of the spot. I'm like, what are you doing? I hate that.
They need to fix that somehow. So I'm hoping for 2.0 they fix that. Like more shit, so I don't have to mod it. So
yeah, man, I know, Matt, you got to be quiet. But for us, I just like I said, I'm looking to get back into, because obviously, Shattered Space left a bad taste in my mouth.
Shattered Space, bro. So I finally finished Shattered Space. I told Manny this. I finally finished Shattered Space in my run because I was like, okay, well, whatever. They must fix the bugs, right? Dude, there is a main quest line where it's like one of those fucking Witcher 3 quest lines where he's like, you got to investigate the crime scene. Some blood here. I wonder what happened here, Like that fucking quest line, right? Mm-hmm. There's a quest line where you need to find a corpse and investigate the corpse to continue it. The corpse is not there. Just completely invisible. I spent 30 minutes looking for something that was not there. I had to look it up on YouTube, and they say search this corpse, and it's like I went there. It's like there's nothing there, but the prompt shows up to interact.
The prompt will show up.
I'm like, fuck off. Okay, interact. Boom. I can finally continue quest. A year later, and you still haven't fixed that. Bethesda, I love you. I want to glaze you without any caveats. It is impossible when that shit happens. Shattered Space still sucks. Shattered Space still sucks. The story sucks. The ending sucks.
The ending sucks.
The story isn't like the way the story is told is terrible. Like the lore is kind of cool, but like the way they tell it to you is like so like okay, just get over with it.
I think it was supposed to be in the base game, and they just sold it to us later. Like
it would have been fine in the base game, but like, dude, to build this up as like, dude, like I can't believe because I actually play because I've been playing Fallout 4 too, and I played Far Harbor for the first time.
Oh,
I literally cannot believe that they call Shattered Space their Far Harbor.
Wait, who called it? Who?
Todd Howard did, bro. When I was talking to him, and I asked him, he said it's closest to Far Harbor, and I said, oh, that gets me really excited.
That is crazy. Now I understand why Maddie and other people were excited because I finally played Far Harbor. Yo, Far Harbor is sick.
Fire.
I told Maddie, Far Harbor is about as good as anything in New Vegas.
Yeah,
it's like 100%. They could just make this the whole time, and it's like I know it's not hard, but it's like you clearly have the capacity. Everything in Far Harbor feels like perfect Fallout, feel like perfect Bethesda reactivity. There's so many different factions, and stories, and the characters pulling in fucking Nick Valentine in, and like that story was fucking compelling too. Crazy how crazy good Far Harbor was.
That's why I asked Todd. I was thinking about that, and I asked him when I interviewed him, I said, are you guys ever going to do smaller experiences? And why I died inside when he was like, yeah, if we do something like small for Fallout, it's just an expansion for 76. I'm like, oh, fuck. They just like,
you guys cooked so hard with Far Harbor.
They're like, bigger is better. And I think they are such a better developer when they think smaller. Any developer really is. But I think Bethesda especially has like gone way ahead of themselves on what big really does for a game, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't. So I feel your pain, bro. Yeah, Far Harbor is incredible, and I think for all the people who like shit on Bethesda writing, I think it stands toe to toe with some of the best shit we've gotten before. Because it's just an incredible storyline, really great, compelling choices, great atmosphere, meaningful locations, and awesome side quests. Did you do the murder mystery?
Yeah, man. Dude.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like also finding the armor pieces. Yeah, the murder mystery.
Yeah. It's so good that when you reminded me of the little puzzle that involved the settlement mode, I was like,
fuck.
Yeah. It's like the one thing that I'm like, I always forget about whenever I recommend it to people. I always forget.
I just forgot about it too.
Yeah,
you had to remind me after I reminded you, but there's a whole like hacking mini game that in the just smack dab towards the end of the game, and it's just like, where the fuck does this come from?
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere. You could tell they were in their be creative bag because that shit made no sense. It was just a really gimmicky way to use the settlement mode, and they did it. I just always forget it exists. I always tell people about everything Far Harbor, and then I always get to that point. They're like, bro, what is this shit? I'm like, yeah, dude, that part.
There's 5 puzzles, and the last one is so crazy. I was spending so long, and I just looked up on YouTube, and fortunately, there's a bug on that last puzzle that you can finish it. You can finish it in 30 seconds. You don't have to do any of the puzzle. The thing lasts for like an hour. It takes so long, but there's a bug that Bethesda never fixed still to this day. It's been like what, how many years, but they still didn't fix it, and you can just beat it in 30 seconds. I just did that. I was like, fuck it, let's just get on with this story. So Bethesda's bugs, they're a blessing and a curse for sure.
100%. Well, Gene, I'm glad you're enjoying your time in the world of Bethesda in spite of it all.
Yep.
Anything else you want to share, or are you going to head out?
No, that's about it. So yeah, next week will be my last punching up. So tune in. I'll be on Summon Sign too. I need money, so that's why you'll be hearing a lot of me on these too,
baby.
Especially while I can still talk, because talking is going to be a little tough afterwards too.
Yeah,
so
sure,
while I can still yap, I'm going to be yapping away.
Absolutely,
yeah,
you're the best, brother.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, you and I will be in touch, but obviously,
Absolutely.
just want to wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely,
and we got your back every step of the way. And if you need anything from either of us, we're here for you.
Thanks, guys.
Love you, Gene.
Yep.
All right, Gene. Thank you for joining us. It's time for him to disappear for a little bit, and we'll talk about what games Cog and I have been playing. It's time to talk about what games we are playing. Cog, you're up first as always. What's been going on with the sticks, man?
Yeah, man. So it's 3 joints. All right. So first, obviously, Final Fantasy VII Integrate is now here. We are here. And I'm finally getting a chance to really get in and dive into it. And man, I miss this game. I really do. I really do. Yeah, man. And I have to say, finally on Xbox Series X, man, it runs really good. Now, mind you, I have not played it since the PlayStation 4 version.
Oh, yeah, same. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I remember, and 4 was at its time, like, it was, man, this game. At first, you go into the modes, you got a 60 frames per second performance mode off top. This thing runs gorgeous, man. He's zipping around the map inside. Obviously, when you're inside the town and stuff like that, it's really cool to see. Obviously, I'm doing, the classic storyline, and you just forget how beautiful Midgar looks, how beautiful, the characters are in the game. The action combat still feels fantastic. And it just kind of, I'm basically replaying, because some things I did forget. And I'm like, okay, now that I know, remember when I played Final Fantasy VII Remake Edition, we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know, we were thinking at that point, no, this is not a spoiler, we're going 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Right? And now that I'm playing it, I'm like, okay, and I'm seeing things Sephiroth's doing, and I'm seeing things that certain elements in the game are preventing from happening, or wanting to maintain happening, and you go, okay. So
I think it's brilliant. I think it's so genius how they have that like audience creator conversation in the game. I think it's so fucking genius. It's actually one of the things I was kind of upset was missing from Rebirth. I thought Rebirth was too 1-to-1. And, and by the way, I know I'm doing revisionist history, because I'll be the first to tell you, keep it authentic, but I loved that kind of like will they, won't they? That whole game. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to. I just love that component.
That's literally the conversation I'm having while I'm replaying, because now I'm also listening with a discerning ear on every little thing and every little nuance that is slightly different, and seeing, okay, I'm trying to formulate where they will get to the trilogy. So it's good that I'm playing the first one again. Bro, it's beautiful. It really is. I'm like, God damn, this is a show. They optimized the hell out of this game. They really did. So salute to them. Just started that. That's out now. And then the second one, it's funny because we were talking about Double Fine earlier. So I threw on Keeper. I got thoughts. I got thoughts. So I said, you know what? Obviously coming into this direct, the rumor was strong. Like it got snitched out. Like Double Fine's gonna be there. So I wasn't surprised that, what is it, Kiln? I always butchered it. Right, Kiln was gonna be there. So I'm like, you know what? Since they're gonna be there, you didn't play Keeper, right? You need to give this a shot and
earn your keep.
Yeah, like you can't be talking this Xbox talk. You ain't really repping Double Fine's new joint. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what it is.
You're a better man than me.
Maddie. I'm just going to say that this, in my opinion, humbly, is the worst possible start you could have for an IP that I'm really not interested in. Like, when I first saw this game, I'm like, obviously, it's a lighthouse, it's a bird. What the hell is going on, right?
Sure.
So I'm like, you do like artsy-fartsy. You like weird. Let's see. The first 15 minutes of this game, I wanted to uninstall it. Like that, bro, the control is so bad. Like they're trying to establish, this thing falls from this location. There's no, story that's sensical to me, right? But I'm not here for that. I understand this is artsy fartsy, whatever. But the thing that bothered me is when this lighthouse thing falls and it starts. And you're starting the control of it, just trying to walk and maneuver, and this thing is teetering over all the time. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to, I guess, show you weakness of this character building strength or whatever this entity is. But it just took me out because the control was so bad. And then the other thing is, it's got kind of the Resident Evil old school fixed camera kind of thing going on, where I can't manipulate the camera. So when the character is walking me to the the foreground, and then it changes angle, and then like you get kind of thrown off. Then you throw this other thing where it's like there's a shining light on the lighthouse, right? And you can aim this light at different things. That's with like the analog. That is very unintuitive. It is not responsive, and it doesn't feel good control on top of the bad camera angles and everything. So I'm sitting there like, bro, I can't. Like, I'm literally fighting. And I'm like, all right, Con, you're only about an hour, 2 hours. Come on, try. And I'm like, this thing don't improve. Well, like another hour. And I was this close to uninstalling this game and being, that's it, I'm done. Finally, I get to a section where the bird now becomes this interactive friend thing that you can now interact and send out to do stuff. I'm like, okay. That's a little better. That's cool. You know, we had our little emotional beat and they got separated. I'm like, okay, cool. Bringing it back together. Then the puzzles start to hit. And I'm like, okay, now I'm doing creative things with this little lighthouse, with this thing. I'm getting mechanics. I'm pulling things. I'm busting through. I'm like, all right, got it. Now I got to this. I got to the little, I'm going to call it the time town. People who've played this going to know what I'm talking about. You're going to get to a part where there's basically his job seems to be to go around and fix and bring light and things into the universe and restore. That's kind of the energy. It's like a restorative thing. You don't know your purpose. You don't know why you're here. You don't know why it's a lighthouse doing this. Right? It's very weird, but I'm starting to get the sense of the game. And then once I got to the puzzles, I'm like, all right, I think I can figure this. Let me do one more. I think I can figure I can do one more. So what I'm trying to say is there is a good game here, right? If you could cut out the first hour, because a lot of people ain't going to survive that first hour. I know if I struggled and I like artsy-fartsy, a lot of it has to do with the control and how the game started. But I do see the allure and I do see the feel of it. So yeah, I'm still playing it. You know, I'm having fun. I will say it's a very unwindy kind of game once you get into the rhythm of it. And yeah, so I mean, look, not Double Fine's like, oh my God, this ain't Psychonauts. You know what I'm saying? This ain't that, you know, same kind of thing. But, you know, I respect that they were allowed to do something. I feel, here's the thing, man. I felt this could have been something really special if it was tightened up. If it was tightened up, they could have been weird enough and cool enough to have it. But I'm curious, Keeper fans, let me know how you guys feel. Because I know there's some people that really hit me like, oh, you're going to love it. Oh my God, da-da-da. And I wasn't loving it in the beginning. I really wasn't. Well, I'm sticking with it now because I think I do get the loop. So Keeper's the second thing I was playing. And then the third thing I want to shout out again, all this is as of yesterday, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Come to the front of the congregation. I got to give you.
He finally brought it back. Okay.
I got to give you a Game Pass now with no excuse. Shout out. We got a Yakumo from Ninja Gaiden 4 skin.
Oh, really?
That you can apply to the characters. And it looking kind of fire. I ain't gonna hold you. And we on Game, and we're on Xbox Play Anywhere. Oh my God, it happened! It happened.
Will those 7s play anywhere as well?
Yes, it happened. Now, please, do you got Ragebound? Can I get my Shinobi down? Like that's all else, because I'm not doing them riffs and all that stuff over Shinobi. I am not doing that again until you give me Play Anywhere. Like you gonna give Ragebound? Because I had Ragebound on Steam, but then Shinobi came out. And you know what I had to do is they could only be one ninja, and it's Joe Musashi. But now that I'm done with Joe, I'm like, all right, let's get back over here, Ryu. Bro, you're still not better than Art of Vengeance, but you're good. You're good. I like it. It's a level of challenge, a level difficult. It's giving me that classic NES feel. Yeah. And I'm like, now I can play on my beloved. I can play. I could go back. That's all. I'm a simple man. I just want to go. I just want the ecosystem you promised. That's all. That's all. I'm not difficult.
Sure.
I'm not difficult.
Sure, nothing wrong with that.
So those are my three right now. I'm having a ball with Final, and I've been going chapter by chapter with Final Fantasy VII. Keeper, I've been doing a level or two here, and then obviously Rage Battle is it. So that's my trifecta this week.
Okay, nice. Mm-hmm. Nice. I have been such a filthy casual these last couple of weeks, bro. Like, not a shit ton of gaming. I've been reading like a little nerd.
Ooh, okay.
Finished Witcher: The Last Wish.
Nice.
Really liked it. Great book. Nice. I'm on my Randall Thor grind, bro. I'm just like hitting books up more than games right now. Right. It's kind of crazy.
In your writing bag.
But yeah, I'm gonna read Sword of Destiny next. I am like itching for it to get in the mail. I've never felt this way about books, but I'm just like, I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to create good habits too. I'm trying to I love gaming all the time, but I'm trying to read every night for a significant amount of time and really make it a part of my routine. So I I self-imposed a challenge. I did the math and everything. If I read 37 pages a day, starting like a week and a half ago, up until April 1st, I'll have all the Witcher books done.
Nice.
And I'll start a Witcher 3 playthrough as my reward. So,
nice.
So I'm trying to drive my goal through a game to create the habit. So then reading's normal for me, especially because I don't want to be reading 37 pages a night constantly, because there is sometimes like I just want to read like 20 pages and go to bed. And, I read it during the day sometimes. Like it gets easier as you obviously read more, but like I like that I'm creating the routine. I'm basically cold turkeying it, which I usually try not to do it myself, but this has been a pretty good challenge for me. So I have been reading more like that, like extra hour or two I find, and I end up just going to bed and reading now. So I have been old manning it a little bit, but I'm trying to create a new habit for myself. So I apologize, everyone. With that, I've been focusing on smaller games because of that.
Nice.
So I still have the satisfaction. As again, I said I'm kind of burnt on big games, especially when I look at Fable. I'm like, I want to save myself for that.
Yes.
Right? I want to save myself for a Crimson Desert. I don't need everything around me to be these big experiences. So I feel like I'm handling this year exactly how I wanted to so far. Thinking it through, trying not to be too reactive to everything. But so what I have played, I beat Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, which took me about like 12 hours. And I love Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. I like this game, is how I would describe it. I think the story and the ideas and the principles it tries to support are really interesting, and much like Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, feels very prevalent. Like Kojima's a great writer in that way. Like the stuff he puts on paper, I do feel, even if it gets crazy, it ages really well. I just think some of the surrounding shit with it that I talked about last week continues to kind of be an issue in this game. Like, I don't care about Paramedic talking about movies that she likes. Like, I find characters like Mei Ling way more interesting. I miss the codec conversations that were like deep and thought-provoking, like with Naomi. Like, I don't know why we got away from that for something this goofy, but this is also like the most Kojima-ass game you can play. Like, it really is him through and through. Like, characters talking about movies. Metal Gear Solid is in full effect here. Like, y'all have played Metal Gear Solid. You know that you have your third-person cutscenes, and then you'll press R1 and it'll go first-person. So here comes Eva, and she shows up, and she's on her bike, and here comes the sexy jazzy music, and I see R1 on the top right. After she unzips her jacket, I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Titties. Like, straight I'm just up. Like, yeah, just like you're staring at them, and then all your stink go, like that. I'm like, bro, come on. Like, so this is a very Kojima game. The gameplay for its time is great. I do wish the remake, because that's the version I played, I wish the remake did crack open the maps a little bit more. I also think this style of Metal Gear, like survival-based Metal Gear, just may not be my favorite. Like, yeah, it's just a good game. Like, I don't have anything omega positive to say about it. I do love the boss fights. I think they're really creative and fun. I really like most of them. But I do think the narrative is just not as compelling as like the first two that grabbed me. It's the first Metal Gear game I've played in this kind of run that I've been on, where like I felt Metal Gear Solid 1 was incredible. Right. 2 built off of 1 in so many interesting ways and made you rethink what sequels are. And it was such like an interesting artistic approach to a sequel, like literally what makes a sequel and what you expect out of a sequel, and how Kojima makes fun of that and plays with that. Because it kind of brought context to the ideas he even brings into Death Stranding. I'm just, for those who are wondering, I'm talking about things like the boss fight, if you catch my drift, on the beach, like that sort of stuff. So, this game didn't really have any of those effects on me. It just had like the origin of Big Boss, and it's good stuff, but I'm looking forward to getting back to Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Right.
But I'm going back on a little Metal Gear break because right now your boy's getting ready for Requiem.
Nice. You and your Resident Evil bag. I love that.
The other game I'm playing right now is RE2 Remake.
Let's go.
I just want to play all the Leon stuff before Requiem comes out. Like I'm trying to just commit myself to that because I really like out of every game that's shown itself this year, like Lego Batman's up there, but bro, Requiem looks like the truth on every level, bro. It is looking like the perfect Resident Evil game. Like I'll go that far. It's got the first person tight horror elements of like 7. But it's also got the vulnerability of like with Ash with what's her name? I forget her last name, but the female protagonist. And then it's got the high action and speed of Leon in other parts. And that's also like that idea of different gameplay styles in different pockets of the game is like a learning from Resident Evil 6, which had that same design. Like Chris's campaign's a third person shooter. Leon's tries to kind of walk a more traditional Resident Evil line, even though there's no like survival tension with like your resources. But I like that they're not running away from that idea and they're doing it here. So I'm just really excited for like Raccoon City potentially being like open world like they've talked about. I think there's just a lot of potential here and I'm really excited about the game. So I'm just committing myself to the games leading up to it. Like I'm not going to play every Resident Evil game, but I've replayed Resident Evil 4 multiple times over the years where I don't think I'm going to replay that one, but 2 Remake, I want to play Outbreak 1 and 2 if I can muster it because I know those are multiplayer games, but I want to replay Outbreak 1 and 2. I want to play Leon's story in 6. Like I want to have all the Leon stories in mind because and all the Raccoon City stories in mind. Like I want to play 3 Remake as well because or maybe I'll just play the original 3. I don't know, but I have to do my research and maybe the comments can let me know. But I just want all of this fresh in my mind because I want to know. I don't know if they're going to take any of this, but I want to see if they pluck at any of that. You know, like it's very interesting to me that they haven't directly called it Resident Evil 9, to my knowledge. Like they've always said like Resident Evil, like Village was like the 8, 7 was very prevalent, but they never like they're just calling it Resident Evil Requiem from what I can tell. And I just find that interesting of like how much they're going to build off of even like the recent ones in 7 and 8. Like is like the Winters story going to play a factor at all? Like that's part of the fun of the mystery of how they're marketing it. And it could be for the worse. It could be like they just fucked up the story completely and just have really good gameplay and that's it. And that might just be enough for me. But since these games are kind of low commitment and I'm just like, I love survival horror. I'm like, yeah, this feels like the right time to just start running through these games and just replaying them all. So we'll see. Once February hits, that's when more games start to come out. So like I would just fuck around and do a Resident Evil 4 remake playthrough, but with all the other Resi stuff I want to do, like, will I have the time for that on top of
it's a lot
I do want to play in February when things start to pick up? So we'll see. But that's what I've been playing this week. And
nice.
And I also shout out to the PS Portal. I love that RE2 remake just is streamable through there. So I can fire it up on the cloud streaming tab.
Nice.
Play it straight up. That's my version of Play Anywhere, Cog. Because there are some games.
Nice.
Yeah, because there's some games that you'll fire it up and the portal will like support it, like Trails in the Sky remake first chapter. When I saw that on my portal, I was like, yes. And it's so easy to just fire that up. But then I'll buy like, I don't think Silent Hill F supports it. And I was like, no, Yeah. But then when you get a game like that, like Resident Evil that supports it, it's such a hype moment because now I can take it anywhere in my house, which is huge for me. So that's basically what I've been playing this week, right? Very, very simple man this week. I'm just playing my big AAA short games. I'm reading lots of books. I'm getting old, man. What the fuck?
Getting old, man. I like this. Like
Mr. Oki plays.
Yes, look, man. I like how you managing the resources. You're setting yourself up for that big one. Because what's our Requiem date? What's our Requiem date looking like? February
27th, I think, of February.
Yeah. You're doing it smart, man. You don't want to get involved in any long. You want to put a ring on something else just right now.
Yeah, like Cog. You'd be proud of me. This came in the mail here. Oh, you can't really see the cover. It's a new Trails game, dude.
Oh, I already know the discipline right now.
We're waiting. This will get played.
That's discipline.
This will get played, but we're waiting a little bit. It's going to get played this year because that story looks fire. But like I got to listen to my body. my brain's telling me, bro, get it, go play that shit. But I know right now I don't want an 80-hour, 90 RPG. I want to enjoy it when I get there. So I sacrificed the review I would normally do for Retro Rebound to just play it for myself, which was tough for me to do.
I get you.
You know, but that's why I've been having a lot of fun, like streaming and trying to create content that doesn't always depend on strictly reviews, not because I want to review things, but I just want to review things and I feel like I'm an intelligent game reviewer, but I want to like put myself in an even better position to succeed, where I'm not like chasing my tail, or if I dare to think about going on a vacation like that I'm like putting a bullet in one of my channels, you know? So I'm trying to navigate it with a good balance here. So
get that balance go. You gotta listen to the heart, man. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Heart wants what the heart wants. Cog is right. Well, Cog, that's what we're playing. Interesting episode of Defining Duke here. Very different structure. We'll see how the audience takes to it, but curious to see what they think. Cog, any final thoughts as we wrap this one up?
No, good one. We had the homie Gene, and then that was dope, man. That was good to see him. Oh my God, so good to see him. Yeah. And we all got to set up some love and some healing energy we're pulling from. And yeah, it was good, man. I really glad that we talked about the direct, because I wanted to get perspectives on a lot of these games. Because I think outside of Forza, like a lot of these games were kind of not my like number one style games, but to hear other people's perspectives on stuff was really cool. And then obviously, you know what I'm saying, the Fable was here. So I was like, yeah, this is the moment. Yeah, this is the moment. And it's cool to see I've been paying attention to socials and seeing, how are the Fable community, and they're popping off. Now, obviously there was one little nitpick. Shout out to the homie Jake. He was like, damn, I wish there was the horns. You know what I'm saying? Like Jake said it. He's like, I wish I was the horns. I'm a little bummed by that. But he's like, everything else cooking. I've been gauging everybody. And for the most part, I'm just so happy for Fable fans in general, because I know what it is that like, this is y'all Shinobi year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it is to wait very long for something and to make sure that it captures the key elements. Now, granted, there's still questions, right? We still got to see how the whole interactivity with the main quest line versus the thing. But man, it was good to see, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. All I say is, please, on the technical side, do what you got to do. and then you got me, I will leave you alone.
I think given the very collective excitement around this game, which I have to say kind of surprised me a little bit. Like I did think, again, this game was going to be fighting an uphill battle given where it was with the character creator. I think they were very wise to just fucking neuter that argument right away.
They shut that down. I was so happy.
But because like even if you look in the Xbox Wire interview, they just kept saying like, we're really happy to finally talk about the character creator. We're very happy to finally say you can customize it. You could tell it was eating at them. Like,
it was eating at them. Yeah, because
like,
they knew.
Y'all are fucking killing us for something that we got. Like, you're not going to play as the quote ugly chick. Like you're going to, it's okay, guys.
You know why the Griff the Goons was ready. They was ready to kill it.
Yeah, I thought they would pivot to something else, like, oh, when the morality wasn't going to be what it usually is, I was like, oh, here we go. But when it's been overwhelming excitement everywhere I've looked, I'm like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there would be a lot more. I thought it'd be like 70-30, but it seems like 90-10.
They were killing me on the chat because I was just like, I had my nitpicks, and I was like, look, I just
okay, so it was you too, bro.
They were killing me. They were like, Cock, what are you talking about? This is fun.
I was reading the chat. Not the chat. I was reading that article that I was referencing here in real time. I'm like, I don't know how I feel. They're like, bro, what are you getting mad about? I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm just like, I don't know how to feel about that. That's different from what I know. Like, I don't want to put a pin in anyone's balloon, but I'm just like, okay, I'm glad if your chat was going after you a little bit, like,
oh yeah, they was mad at me and King,
or like tomato throwing, but it was like a little bit of like, bro, you're just trying to be mad. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just feel very uncertain inside right now. This is different.
Yeah, no, look, when you love something very hard, like I'm a person that I want you at your best foot forward at all times. I want the best possible chance for success. That's all. So let's and in the majority, they answered it. Now, just give us that uncut quest, right? Where it's just nonstop. Show us some more stuff that we talked about in the mainline stuff. Show me the combat frame ratey stuff is fixed by the time. And then you got me wholeheartedly. That's all. That's all it was. So it's just like, again, and I will say this though, I'm going to reemphasize. I was upset that the way the presentation in the first 5 minutes before they got into it, they did get to it, but it was just like the first 5 minutes, I was like, they hiding. They talking too much. Yeah. What's up? Get to it.
They did hide like character dialogue completely.
Yeah, I was like,
one thing I am a little skeptical. They completely hid like bantering main quest talk. Like They're being strategic about it.
They're being strategic. So what this shows me, provided that autumn is what autumn is, right? If that, let's say autumn it's this year, it's autumn. Let's say that happens. Then what that shows me is I better be getting what we just talked about on that showcase.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need that because you got to run that back with a full uninterrupted joint.
I agree.
And I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave you alone. It's just me nitpicking because I want you to be the best you can be because I can see the potential. This is the most ambitious, dope looking title.
It's the first Xbox game, probably since Starfield, where we're like seeing collective industry conversation.
Yes.
And like hype and talk and
Absolutely.
intrigue. Like it's a noisemaker is what it finally is. It's not like even Halo kind of feels like it's almost in its own little quadrant. But this feels like it had broad appeal.
Yes.
A level that I didn't anticipate. I was very happy to see it though.
And I'm pulling for Playground. I want them to do it. I really do.
Yeah, same. All right, Cog. Well, I think the hashtag's got to be DD Horns. Let's talk about the one thing that's missing, shall we?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you got this deep into the show, we appreciate you. Send Gene your love. Make sure you tag him as well. He's at Gene Park, but I'm at GC7 Status. Cog is at Lord Cognito. Use the hashtag DD Horns. Let us know your thoughts. You can also leave comments down below. Hashtag DD Horns is fine there. We just want to know what you thought as you got to the end of the episode. Otherwise, we'll be back next week with a more traditional episode of Defining Duke and Xbox podcast for episode 265. But until then, stay cozy. And if you're in the Northeast, stay warm.
Yes.
Stay warm. Stay safe. Make sure your cupboards are stacked with food and all the resources you need.
Thanks
but otherwise, yeah, I know, right?
I got to do
something. I got to run out and do something.
I got to run out. You just reminded me, bro. I got to get some shopping done.
Stay safe, everyone. We'll be back next week. We'll talk to you then. Peace out.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Matty's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Eversley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.